Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Who need to hear this, but let me put this out here. Stop sparing folks. Hello, somebody. Stop sparing folks. Nobody cared when your feelings was hurt. Nobody cared when you was pacing the floor. Nobody cared when you was sliding down the wall. Nobody cared when you was standing over there with a face full of tears. You had to suck it up, buttercup. But then when it come to other folk feelings, here you are, want to tiptoe around it, want to avoid the elephant in the room. I don't want to upset anybody. I don't want to disturb the peace. Stop sparing folk. Ain't nobody spare you when it was your turn. Give it to them real. Give it to them raw. Give it to them uncut and uncensored. This is exactly what it is. This way you had me messed up at. Yeah. I ain't playing with nobody this season, baby.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Well, good morning, all of my coffee beans, this wonderful Tuesday. I hope everybody is doing well today. I just need to get my phone on. I forgot to put the, there we go. I forgot to put the, my chat on to make sure I'm not missing anything this morning. So good morning. As you guys can see, I am bright up and or not necessarily early. I slept in. I got to tell you, the sun has been kicking my ever-loving butt. I'm sunburnt. I feel great though. It's for a great cause in my opinion. And that's all that matters why I'm here, right? So at any rate, we're going to start trying to transition back to true crime because we don't get in the drama over here, despite what everybody says. We don't get into the drama. We usually keep our mouth shut, but I just needed to poke some fun and show you how how much hypocrisy is out there on YouTube. And I think I did that with class and with integrity. And so just to put kind of this to bed, it's funny that everybody's saying it must bother me because I'm saying something about it. Well, it must bother you guys because you guys have been saying something about it for a year and a half while I've been here covering true crime, looking for children. By the way, we did find one and we're able to send one home safely. That's something that they'll never be able to say. They will never be able to do the things that we do, and that's okay. You know, they don't have to. But to be hating on somebody that's trying to do good in this country and doing good in this world is not really how you show integrity, character, or class. So we're going to get back to business. We're going to keep running circles around these animals on here on YouTube. But I just find it quite hilarious that they like being able to have all these luxuries of being able to beat up people and be nasty and just unkind. But let somebody stand up to them, and it's World War III. So I just think everybody just needs to stay in their own lane, do their own thing, mind their own business. What I do over here is nobody else's business but the people that support me and me. That's it. If you don't like it, it's your problem, not mine. And that's the way we roll over here. So if you're offended easily, and this is another thing, surprisingly enough, remember how we had, what is it, against the wood or grain or something like that, go against the grain. I can't remember. We had reap what you sow, and I think go against the grain or something. I can't remember the actual name. That person is obviously may have never been a Betty fan, but out there talking. So since she is so upset with this channel, now she's blocked, and we're going to continue to block nasty people here. It's no big deal. But there also is also another thing that's going on, and I wanted to. I noticed that Alec Erickson, she removed her mods. She removed all of her mods, which I think it's because she must have felt like she had a rogue mod. So here's what I learned, and this is for all the people out there on YouTube. So what these trolls are doing, and I did confirm this, I'm going to tell you how. So what the trolls are doing is they have multiple accounts. So they go in there, and it's not a mod issue. So don't be beating up on your mods. It's a game that they're playing. And so what they do is they go and sub up to you, and they just unsub. So it's not that you got a rogue mod blocking people or anything like that. It's just a game that these trolls are playing. And here's why, because there's no way we can see the activity on our side to find out if we have a rogue mod. So I reached out to the Creator Studio chat and spoke to them. And I was asking them, you know, why don't we have the activity to see what our mods are doing? And two, whether or not, you know, there is somebody deleting or modifying my members. And there was one person that they indicated, I can't remember the number, but it was well over 120 times they have subbed up to this channel and unsubbed to this channel. So if that tells you what's going on, that's why we don't play the mod stuff. You know, my mods are great. I trust my mods. I go back on the backside and see, I know I monitor how many people are blocked every given day. I add them to a list. We keep it together over here. So if any creator out there is having this issue, don't beat up your mods. It's what they want you to believe, but come to find out, it's not that way. It really is them just playing games behind the scenes. People are trying to hack Bullhorn Betty. They can't get me any other way, so they start trying to hack me. That is true. So Twitter notified me that somebody from Canada was trying to get into my Twitter. You guys can't do it. Everything I've got has dual authentication on it. So unless you actually have my cell phone with you, the chances of you getting into my accounts is next to impossible, but good try. I'm not going to change or run through the hoops, because that's probably why you did it, just to trigger me, to try to get me to change passwords and all this other stuff. It didn't work. Try again. I doubt anybody on Twitter, if some outlandish thing came on about me, would actually give a damn. They would know I was hacked. So I just want to let people know that as well. We don't do that, but this is what they do. So again, just a little they're just being assholes, and that's just it. So we'll pray for them and we'll move on. But I just want to make sure that I'm vocal as to what really is transpiring. Stuff that we don't do to them, they're doing to us, but that's expected, because criminals by definition don't follow the law. Most of these people are criminals, therefore they could care less about YouTube's terms of service. So there you have it. There you have it. So good morning, everybody that has chosen to stay with me, because I'm such a horrible, despicable person on YouTube that I'm just losing subscribers right and left, just losing them right and left. I'm this horrible person that nobody wants to watch, that nobody absolutely wants to watch. But I would say the other thing, when you come on channel like one time a week and you only get 6,800 people in a week, and I bank that almost on a daily basis of views through multiple things. So I would say that they probably are more in tune to me than they are you, but that's okay. So one thing I did find out is Leticia Stauch, and it wasn't Stock, it is, how do they pronounce her name? It wasn't, we've been saying her last name wrong. And it's Stauch. That's how you pronounce her name, Leticia Stauch. So a lot of people have been calling her Stock like me. It's not Stock. It's not Stauch. It is Stauch. That's how you pronounce her name. So Leticia Stauch is in the hot seat. They had their opening arguments yesterday. Many of you guys know I was up and out of here fairly early. Her trial starts at like 10 a.m. So we're going to, since we started out early today, I have a funny feeling that we're going to be able to do our 2-hour live here this morning. And then we're going to be able to engage that WebEx and watch her trial right here. Again, opening arguments were already provided yesterday. I'm actually going through those. And I thought, there might be a lot of people in my audience that are unaware of this case. Some of you guys may know some things or have heard of this case and got some details, but maybe you don't know a whole lot about it. So we're going to go over those as part of this segment. Don't forget to hit the like button. We have almost 300 people in here in the chat already. So if you guys are coming in, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, the like button for this case. This is one that I'm glad that they are at least giving us the public, some kind of look inside of this particular trial. But again, I am going to be signed up on the WebEx. We're going to watch it here. So those that are interested in this case are good. I can tell you that you're going to be good here. I can tell you that some of the stuff, some of the details that they said in the opening arguments, or opening statements rather, were a little concerning for me. We did hear there was somebody did release the telephone call or her recording with Gannon, talking about, did you do this on purpose? I don't know what transpired. Did he put a hole in the wall? Did he write on the wall? And she's talking about, they're going to have to sell the couch. They're going to have to sell this. They're going to have to sell that, but they'll fix it, not to worry. And he's like, I really don't care about that. I just care about my burns. And I when I first heard it, before actually hearing the replay of the opening arguments, I actually thought he was talking about birds, with wings, like he must have had, like maybe his birds were his pets or something like that. It wasn't until, because you guys know I'm deaf in one ear, so sometimes words aren't very as clear as they are for many of my audience. And so when I heard this, I'm like, man, he must love those birds. Was she threatening that they were getting kicked out of the place? And then of course I heard it in context and I realized what I was hearing. And even when I heard it on this WebEx replay, I still kept hearing birds, not burns, like burns, like she threw hot water on him, or burned him with a cigarette or something like that. Those are what he wasn't saying birds, he was saying burns. And I'm just like, she burnt him. And it sounds like this was the day before he lost his life. So I'm trying to make sure I'm understanding what I'm hearing. But this poor little boy sounded like he was brutalized in that home long before he was ever taken out by Leticia Stauch. So good morning, Jennifer L. Adrian, is it Adrian? Adrian Watkins, good to see you. Nurse Sandy, always a pleasure to have you here. Jennifer L, always a pleasure to have you here too. Blue Victorian Beauty, good morning. So we have some new faces in here. Good morning, Miss Lee, mom of 3, Alabama mom of 4. Nice to see you. Net L, it's good to see you. Cool gamer as well. Patricia Miller. Who do we have? Julie, Cranky Pants. Cranky Pants. I gotta tell you, we gotta find out a new name. Maybe we should. I don't know. Maybe we should start using one of the classic names that they say for me instead of me using Cranky Pants, because I think that's highly disrespectful to you, and you know how I feel about you. I love you, so I think we need to start calling them Butthurt Betties. I think that needs to be coined. That side instead of Cranky Pants. I think they need to be Butthurt Betties. Right? We got Negative Nancy's and now we have Butthurt Betties. So that's what they're going to be. So anytime they're going to have to hear my name each and every day that we don't like them. Good morning, Teresa, Misty. Nice to see you. Second, that's 310. Good morning. I probably screwed that up and I apologize. Maddie Downs, nice to have you here. We even have Facebook people on our Facebook Bullhorn Betty True Crime page. We are running live on that page as well. So all my Facebook family that's over there, I see one of you, at least one, is saying good morning. So good morning to Facebook. It's nice to see you guys here bright and early. And thank you for supporting the True Crime page. I appreciate that. Betty, my pins come out today. I cannot be happier for you, Jennifer. I will tell you, I'm going to be very sad when you have to go back to work. I don't know what I'm going to do when you have to go back to work. I will probably be crying. Where's my Jennifer? No. Right. But I am so happy that you're finally healing enough to get those pins taken out. It's going to be a good day. And again, don't look at the pliers. I'm telling you, the worst thing you can do is look. Just look up. Don't pay attention to what they're doing. If you need to, bring a game. Just play a game on your phone. Don't pay attention to what they're doing. Don't look. Don't see. It'll go much nicer and much easier for you. Princess Megan Elsa, good morning. Leonard Love, it's always a pleasure to have you here as well. Lisa Marie, good morning to you. Donna, it's nice to see you. Sheila, it's always great to have you in the house. Patty, Angie, Tammy Sue, Misty, the struggle is real. Struggle is real, not the. I always want to put the in front of it, just like I do with the best soap in the game at gmail.com, right? It's not, it's best. I got to remember to remove the from that. And we're going to talk about an update. Bullhorn Betty, who would have known, is back on Turtle Island. Who got an opportunity? Oh, let me go through this and then we'll get back to it. We see the old rusty kettle ranch in the house. Good morning to you, love. Cynthia Gaines. I think I got it. Leaf Lover Liz. Audrey and Josie. We got some Dodo Dickinson. It's nice to see you. We got some people we haven't seen in a little bit. Michelle, it's nice to see you. Blake WD. Domino Queen. Murdaugh. Sonia, good morning. Oh, Sonia, we need to I'll be leaving here tomorrow. I'll call you when I get back to the house. We need to figure out the whole raffle thing and get that done. I want to make sure that we've been talking about it for so long. I want to get it rolled out, and it's like everything is just hitting. But I feel like this upcoming week is going to be the week to at least roll out 1 or 2 of those raffles. Maybe what I might do is just do one raffle and give out like 2 items. I'm not sure. Plus, we still have the free raffle that's going to go on for the bottle of wine that we're going to do sometime soon. I've got to look in that. I'm pretty sure I can mail a bottle of wine, but I want to be 100% confident because I don't know the rules of mailing alcoholic beverages in the mail. So I want to make sure that I'm on the uppity up, but that's okay. Even if you win the bottle of wine, I'm unable to like mail it to you as a gift. This is the reason why I think I can is because many people on Christmas mail out all that kind of stuff, you know, the bottles of wine, this, that, and the other. So I'm pretty confident that I am able to mail the bottle of wine, you know, without any problems, but I want to be on the safe side. And if for any reason I can't mail out the bottle of wine, I will Instacart a bottle of wine to whoever the winner is, and they'll have that delivered just in a few hours of winning the prize. So we'll see. And I almost want to do it that way because then we'll do something. I don't know if I haven't even looked at the bottle. I haven't even pulled out the bottles of wine from the bags that I purchased. It was one of those blind, everything there outside of the auction items, like the basket that I purchased. Everything outside of the auction, everything was kind of blind auctions. For example, you know, this was $20. And when you open it up, you get a $10 gift certificate. Cause it was just, you know, it's just one of those fun little games, and it was to raise money. So obviously you would want, I think the majority of people got their $10 because they were just trying to raise money. It was really, the way they did it in some of the games they had were really clever. They really were. I just enjoyed my time there. I got to see a lot of friends, and we were able to do good for a good cause. We're going to get over to Dolly in just a second. Let me get through saying hi to everybody. Tammy Sue, MJ, Manic, Mama T. It's nice to see you. Tammy Crimes, good morning, love. Good morning, Law Obsessed. Law Obsessed, I really appreciate you being here. I do. And I'm sorry for getting, you know, as you know, that some of this stuff, it gets a little heated and stuff like that. And I think I was a little rude to you in one of my responses. And I just wanted to personally apologize to you for that. Some of these trolls, they don't get an apology, nor will they ever, because they're just jerks. But I don't think that was your intention. At least I hope that wasn't your intention. So if it wasn't, you know, I just want to give you my sincerest apology for that. Sometimes I, you know, get caught up into all this nonsense. But like I said, I don't understand how that makes anybody feel good, because that's why I don't do it. It doesn't make me feel good. You know, I like doing good because it feels good to do good, right? And it feels good to see a smile on a face, or it feels good to be with a parent that's crying on your shoulder telling you thank you for, you know, just coming out and bringing attention to a case. Or, you know, they're like I'll tell you right now, Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner, I haven't talked to Crystal Turner's aunt in a while, but I can tell you she loves us. If you said anything negative about anybody on our team, Olivia, JLR, or myself, she will put you slap in your place. And that is a victim's family member, because she loved us. She still loves us. You know, we were able to go out there and find her information because law enforcement was not keeping her in the loop. And actually, law enforcement, moreover, lied to us and said that they would call her because she was really the only living heir of Crystal Turner's outside of her mother. And so, you know, people try to say all these things to the audience, not realizing that we do a lot, and we usually reach out to the family and get their support in many cases, unless they're potential persons of interest or suspects. We work a lot with the families themselves to get answers for their loved one, bring attention to their loved one. And for those reasons, they come to bat for us when they see negative things. Her aunt still runs a channel on Facebook, you know, a type of missing person, bring an avocation to missing people, but she's just a doll. She is just a doll. And I actually need to put her on my list because I need to reach out to her. I haven't spoken to her in a while, as a matter of fact. So there you go. Now she's on the list. I got to get a call out to her. But that's just all I'm trying to say is that, there's good people, and and not even that, but these roach channels that we deem roach channels or jellyfish channels or butthurt Betty channels or whatever channels, right? I just, this is what I can say. I can honestly say they seem very tenacious. Okay, that's, they seem very tenacious about, when they get on something, they go after it. So the grand scheme of things, they could really be utilizing that and harnessing that energy and that tenacity for good, and bringing more awareness to victims of crime. And they're choosing to squander their opportunities and their platforms to be hateful, and that's sad. And I really do wish that maybe even if one of them hear this message, I wish you would harness that energy for good. I really do. But I just wanted to tell you, law obsessed, that I did get I think I felt personally, I felt like I was a little more rude to you than I would have been, in all fairness. So I wanted to make sure that I publicly apologize to you for that. Sonia, nice to see you. I think I've already said hi. Nana of 7, it's great to be here. What else do we have? Oh, and then of course, I don't know which one. Oh, that woman is angry. Are you talking about Leticia? Because that woman is just, I've never seen such a manipulative. Well, I have this. We deal with them all the time, but very manipulative to that boy. I didn't realize to the extent of how she treated him. I thought she just lost her cool or whatever. I had no idea that she was putting that poor little boy through so much, even before, um, she killed him. It's just sad. It's sad. Teresa, I don't know if I said good morning to you, but good morning, Mary. Good morning, Michelle. Nice to see you, Michelle, number 57. Don't forget to go out and we have over 400 people in the chat right now. So good morning to everybody that's in here. Mary is in North Fort Myers. You're not too far from me. You're not too far from me. Do you ever go to Seed to Table out down in Naples? That's a good place to go. One of my friends, he has a very good real estate business in Fort Myers. And I actually have a lot of friends in Fort Myers. It's crazy. Even if I drive anywhere in Florida, I can go literally almost to any county and know somebody. That's insane. That's insane. I'm never alone. Maddie Down, nice to see you. I think I've already said hi. Riding solo. Good for you. Good for you. There's nothing better than being independent. Sometimes I got to be honest with you. Sometimes it's nice to share some time, but being alone is not the worst thing in the world. I mean, it really isn't. You get to find yourself a little more. You get to read a book. You're not having to worry about somebody else, or having to fix lunch or food for somebody else. What can I say? I'm lazy when it comes to house stuff. I don't want to be cooking. I'm just joking. Everybody knows I love to cook. Everybody knows. Let me not be spreading rumors. ZA, you're nice. Yes, we see the hypocrisy. I appreciate it. Law obsessed, but I truly did want to apologize to you. I do think I came off really harsh and really rude, and I don't like being like that. I really don't. I love the people here. So everybody else that I missed this morning, I see I am Team Summer, Caroline. I had to go down a little bit. Mountain Girl, Miss Margaret, Gigi for life. Nice to see you. Misty, Kathy, I missed a lot of you. See what else we have. What else do we have? Sepsis is in the house. I hope you're help me. Rhonda's in the house. Yeah, I'm missing a lot of people. I just Akita lover. I love you too. Oh, excuse me. I love your Akita. I'm an animal lover. If anybody knows anything about me, I don't care what kind of animal it is. I really don't. I don't care what kind of animal it is. It could be a squirrel. It could be a rat. It could be a mice. It could be a snail. I'm a creature lover. If I see something in harm's way, I got to tell you this story. So, and this goes to a squirrel. The squirrel was in the middle of the road, And I was so scared that this squirrel was going to get eaten or get hit by a car, you know, and it wasn't moving. And so it's like right in the middle of the road. And I was scared if I went around it, it would run under my tires. If I went around it this way, it was going to run under my tires. So I'm sitting there. So I open my door. I'm like, you shoot, you know, he was standing there because there was a cat on the side of the road. And when I got out of it, he ran toward the cat, and that cat got him and ran off. I swear to God. I'm like, no. Oh my goodness. Oh, Turkey Man in the house. Nice to see you, Love Bug. Nice to see you. Yeah, we're gonna get back on track. So let's change the channel just a little bit and talk about our beloved. Oh, we have a new Mountain Girl, newest member of this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club. Welcome. I think I passed somebody. Hold on here. I do think I just passed somebody. I see something else at the top here, but I can't find you. Give me just a second. Oh, we got a few of them. Sorry, guys. I didn't realize I was talking too much at the front. Good morning. Thank you for being the newest member of this coffee club. I appreciate it. TPAC. Is it TPAC? I hope you're covering Trump presser at Mar-a-Lago today. No, I don't. I cover political stuff on my Facebook, on my Facebook page. I try to keep the politics off you here. The only reason why I actually brought it up, the only reason why I came from that in my gear is because I wanted to show my audience why they're truly attacking me. Because, some of these creators, they're okay with covering true crime. Others, they're not. And it's more than just us covering true crime. Trust me, it has a lot more to do with it. It started out with two people that did not like my political leanings because they had stalked me and went into all my social media profiles and everything when I first came out, because I didn't know to lock things down. I didn't know how much mental illness was on YouTube. I really didn't. Otherwise, I would have locked all those things down prior to ever opening my channel, because I had my logo made almost 10 days before I went live for the very first time. So since then, that logo has been copyrighted. So we are in the good graces of the U.S. Copyright Office. We are working on some other copyright issues right now with the U.S. Copyright Office to make our arguments and stuff just a little bit stronger. So we are moving through the process. We're moving through it pretty well, and we'll keep you guys updated on that. Hold on just a second. Okay. Sorry about that. So I appreciate it. Oh, there it is. Thank you. Skittle Riddle 88. So now that we're kind of through, let me just make sure I got everybody that I needed to get on here. So now that we're through, I don't know, you guys know I love Turtle Island. It was Turtle Island season 1 was fun. And I have to say that a lot of that fun came from White Rabbit, in all fairness. I know she doesn't like Bullhorn Betty now because, the whole thing with that mod I had that thought she was the channel account holder. Anyways, I don't want to be disrespectful or anything like that. But in all fairness, she no longer likes the Bullhorn Betty channel, and that's okay. That's okay. I don't dislike her. I've never done anything to her. She's never done she's done a lot to me. Both of them have. They overstepped their they overstepped quite a bit. But either way, she made it a lot of fun. It was a great battle between some creators. And it ended up going very, very well. As many of you guys know, the first season, Justice for All won. And then there was a whole falling out between MGL and Dolly Vision. And, Justin is one of those people. He's just, he likes to be on the right side of things. And he felt very offended by Dolly, whatever the issue may be. It's not our issue. That's between them. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of background on it. It's just between them. Oh, I know. You guys were very, very, very sweet. A lot of people came up to bat for Bullhorn Betty, and it was Jeannie that had the egg that got to bring someone back, and it was Bullhorn Betty. So, and Map, our beloved Map, he is now on the island as well. To be honest with you, here's the crazy thing. And I'm so sorry, Map. I must be, I guess the bleach is getting to my brain or something. But I have to be honest with you. I didn't realize you had a channel. And you may have told me you had a channel, but I forgot you had a channel. And I didn't know you covered true crime. Like, I'm just like, what? So I am so sorry. And you're more than welcome to throw your channel up in the chat or provide me the link to your channel, and I'm happy to throw it up there. I had no clue. So I apologize about that. But I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you come over here. You had kind words to say and about me. So I appreciate it. So thank you for that. And I just want to thank all the lovely people that were over in Dolly's channel that stuck up for Bullhorn Betty and brought me back. It's quite an honor that not only I wasn't on there, and it was the people that brought me back. So I just wanted a big shout out to all my lovers and my haters, because if it wasn't for my haters, most of my lovers wouldn't even know about me. So as a matter of fact, we got almost 450 people in the chat already this morning. How many people learned, by a show of ones, how many people have learned about me and have decided to check me out? Oh, ZA gifted some memberships. God bless you, ZA. Thank you. And I'm going to try to remember to go to the back side and read off everybody's stuff again, especially those milestones as well as the memberships, because those are the things I don't see on this side. But I will go over there and make sure that we go through everybody that sponsored this segment here in just a little bit. But thank you and God bless you. And where was I going? So I just wanted to thank, I know the haters, but oh yeah, I remember what I was saying. By a show of one, how many of you guys learned about this channel from a hate channel or from somebody speaking negatively about me? How many, by a show of ones, learned of me from my haters? Came over here and became a subscriber of mine because of my haters. I found you from Summer Wells case. Oh, Andrew, it's nice to see you in here. So Val, 1977, so 1-1-2. One I did about 8 months ago. Well, thank you, Husky Lover. Thank you. So some of you guys came over here organically. That's nice. That's sweet. That's sweet. Nice. Oh, Caroline, you're sweet. Thank you. Yeah, we did a lot. Found you from Molly Go Lightly. Nice. Some found me from the Petito case. I've only followed you since the Summer Wells case. So some found on the Summer Wells case. There was a lot of haters for Summer Wells. There's a lot of haters for Summer Wells. There were a lot of haters from Gabby Petito. Also, the hate channels work for you. Yeah, absolutely. I found you through Dolly. Oh, Skittle Real Dolly, sweet. Dolly's a good guy. You know, I'm sorry, but sometimes he, I think the only time he's really kind of shocked me. I'll say it like that. Shocked me was when he met with Don Wells and he came back with that. It just shocked me. I said my piece and I let it die down, and I apologized to him for that. And I told him the reason why. I don't hate him. I told him, I said it was just a shock. And it was a shock to many people too, by the way. It was a shock to many people. But there's one thing about Dolly, at least for normal people. Now, I can't help the, mentally ill people out there on YouTube. But for the normal people, it's kind of hard to ever be mad at Dolly. And if you get mad at Dolly, it's like gone in like 5 or 10 minutes. You watch his next show and he's got you laughing again. You forgot what you were even mad at him for in the first place. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you so much. So anyways, we're back on Turtle Island. And what was the purpose of me coming on here and talking about Turtle Island? Oh, and this is the other thing. If you didn't watch it, this is the other thing that killed me. Mab got more votes to come on the island than Dolly did, and it's his island. I know Dolly doesn't want to go back on that island anyways. He took himself off the last one because it's hard to be part of the island and run the show. It's just, it's difficult. It's causing him a little bit of too much problems. But I just want a big shout out to Mab on that feed. He really got it's going to be fun. I have a funny feeling this is going to be a fun, another fun Turtle Island that we're going to have. Yeah, it was good. I got to watch it this morning, and they did a great job. They did a great job. So kudos to everybody over there on Turtle Island. Okay, guys. So without further ado, we've taken up about 40 minutes just kind of getting, kind of acquainted and saying hi to everybody and talking about this. How much did those turtle lamps go for at the auction? Oh my God, crime scene photo. Are you ready for this? Let me just give you a little history. Let me just give you a little back history. So for those that are wondering what she's talking about the turtle lamps, it comes to the Alex Murdaugh case. So they were, I don't condone how Dolly behaved in Georgia. Violence and aggression is my boundary. Well, law obsessed. Oh, before we get to the turtle lamps crime scene photo, let me explain this to law obsessed. Okay, so a lot of the stuff, I don't think you understand what actually transpired in Georgia with the whole Bullhorn situation. So that lady had taken that car and tried to hit us with it on 2 separate occasions, a car. Okay, and we're not talking about this being a petty little situation. You're talking about a woman using a car as a weapon. Not only once, she tried to gun at our tent that we had set up that we were all sitting under, because we put screens up to just let them do their thing. We were really trying to stay away from them and not engage with them at all. And they were on one side of the driveway, we were on the other. Well, she tried to take that car and act like she was going to hit our tent. Then she turns around and somebody's cleaning up because there was fish and some stuff, that just foul stuff out there. It didn't stop our work. Some foul stuff out there in front of the house. Well, one of the girls, I don't even remember her name, was bending down to pick that stuff up, to clean the yard up. We thought it was a disgrace for Quentin. So she started, getting plastic bags and cleaning up all this fish and stuff. Well, that woman tried to hit her with the car again, and somebody had to pull her out of the way. And then she starts coming out of the car swinging the bullhorn. And at that point, Dolly had had enough and removed the weapon from her hand. Okay. He did. I know that some angles appeared that he touched that woman, but we have a good video of him. From one angle, it looked like he touched her. From another angle, you could clearly see there was no contact physical touch. He grabbed the bullhorn and removed it from her hand as a weapon. And I believe, in my opinion, now I could be wrong, I don't want to put words in your mouth, law obsessed, but I'm pretty confident if somebody tried to hit you with a car twice and then started wielding a bullhorn at you, I'm pretty sure you would have really appreciated somebody coming and removing that weapon from her hand. And that was the situation. But that lady lied to the police and had Dolly detained falsely. And that is the reality of the situation that many people don't know. And it was well recorded. There was many people there, but because the law did not like us there, they weren't listening to us. Even though there was literally 10 witnesses to this, they looked at one little video from that angle where it appeared that he touched her and he didn't. So we made sure that Dolly has the video that had the clear shot where he grabbed that bullhorn and never laid a hand on that woman. So I don't care how they provide that, what their side of the story is. We do have evidence on this side to clear Dolly from that. And that woman was very violent. You guys watched her. She said some of the horrible things. There's laws in place in almost every state related to fighting words. And these are people that bring something on themselves. And I have a funny feeling that's where this is going to fall, because that lady brought this on herself. And she can't complain about somebody pulling weapons out of her hand that she's using to try to harm somebody with, and say that she was being assaulted when she was the one assaulting others. And she had to be that threat had to be neutralized. Dolly neutralized that threat by knocking the bullhorn out of her hand. And kudos to him. I stand behind what he did. If that makes me a bad person, it makes me a bad person. But I don't think a lot of people realize what that lady truly did. So getting back to yours. So let me get back to the crime scene photos. So many of you know that we went to the Alec Murdaugh auction. And Alec Murdaugh is accused of killing his wife and son to hide his financial crimes and to get pity so he didn't have to face the financial consequences of his son's Paul's actions, as well as his, because they condoned his son Paul's drinking. And that's what was putting him on the hook for all this multi-million-dollar lawsuit. So that was the day that my car had battery issues. And so I think Dolly called as an excuse, you know, using the battery, letting me know that it wasn't. Now, I know he's a friendly guy, so he would have called me just to help me out anyways. But he was letting me know that it's not my alternator. It truly is my battery, because if it was my alternator, the car wouldn't move, whether it was jumped or not. It's the alternator generating the energy for the car to continue to go. It's definitely the battery. By the way, if you're going to the Alex Murdaugh auction, would you try to get me those turtle lamps? So I'm like, sure, I'm happy. What's my budget for these turtle lamps? So he's like, well, what do you think? A couple $100 bucks? And I'm thinking, turtle lamps cost a couple $100 bucks? Like, I would think you'd have to pay for that brand new. But you know, that was my budget, couple $100 bucks. I wasn't going to bid on anything. And because he inspired me to bid and go up there and get my bidding number, I went ahead and tried to get those lamps. Let me tell you something. Each one of those lamps, now mind you, these lamps probably brand spanking new, may have costed $200, $250 a piece. And I think I'm being very conservative on those numbers, And those lamps, each one of them went to anywhere between $800 and above. The set of the two smaller turtle lamps went for $1,600. $1,600, well outside of the budget provided to me to pick up those turtle lamps for Dolly. But I do appreciate Dolly's help on the car, and I did try to get those turtle lamps for him. They weren't something that interested me, but that's the theme of his channel, so I can understand why it was important to him. But everything related to the Murdaughs went sometimes 5 and 6 times over the brand new price. Let me give you an example. A $19 Jello mold, sold at auction for $90. A $19 Jello mold. And I know it was $19 because I had looked at that Jello, that very exact Jello mold at Walmart. But I was like, do I really need one more pan that I'm going to use one time, and it's just going to take up space in my cupboards? So yes, a Jello mold, $90, guys, $90. It was insane. Our friend here, and she just so happens, it's not Jennifer L. That's in the chat right now, but our friend Jennifer from Georgia actually met me there. And she was able to get some things from the Murdaugh collection. She paid overpriced for it, but you know what the crazy thing is? She bought stuff she's going to use. So she's actually going to use it. It's not memorial, like a gift or a piece of history about Alec Murdaugh and stuff like that. And she was able to get I can't remember, like a fish or maybe a crab trap. I know she got the map, the framed map that was on there, but she spent for that framed map, she spent $200 for, but she had been looking for a map, and the maps that she was looking at, she said were pretty, framed maps were pretty high anyways. So she felt, but she was happy with her purchases and she loved it. She didn't spend crazy amounts of money, like $36,000 on their living room set. That's what that living room set sold for. I guarantee that living room set probably cost about maybe, I would say $5,000, $5,500, $6,500 maybe. for that furniture. At best, under $10,000. At best, under $10,000. $36,000. The couch. No, actually, you might be right. You might be right. It's either between. It's between. So for Karen, we'll say between 36 and 38,000. I'm almost confident that it went for 36, but it could have been 38. Maybe I'm just messing up my numbers. So just ridiculous. That Longhorn on there. That Longhorn. $10,500. Like they were going nuts, literally nuts on the bidding. I had never seen anything so crazy in my life. I mean, the idea of auctions is to get items cheaper than they would be sold elsewhere. But the good news about auctions is they can bring in more. So for like Murdaugh, where things were going well beyond the brand new value of them, what is the amount of an item, right? What is the amount of any item? It doesn't have to, I don't care what it is, from diamonds down to, stickers. What is the price of an item? It's what someone is willing to pay. That's the price of an item. And a lot of these people just wanted a token of this historical situation. I mean, and people don't realize that Murdaugh is a historical event, more so than some of these other cases we cover, because his family has made the history books that will forever be taught to our children. They literally had held that solicitor position in Low Country longer than anyone in the history of the United States at that time. Now, will that be the same moving forward? I don't know. Will they always hold that title? I don't know. But right now, they hold that title in our U.S. history as being the longest running family of solicitors, consecutive solicitor, almost 100 years. So a lot of people wanted a piece of that history. And him going to jail, honestly, made history. Crafty Florida Lady says, one thing I have learned about living in Florida is car batteries do not last. I was told it's our heat and wears them down quickly. Yeah. Well, and it's like any battery. If you leave any batteries in a hot car for think about your cell phone, or, those other type of batteries. Some people ride around with the ones that have the jumper boxes that I ended up purchasing while I was in Georgia. People have those jumper boxes, and those, when they stay in the car, the battery doesn't reserve because the heat just drains them out. But yeah, absolutely. But my battery was still warranted. My battery was still under warranty. And I remember, I'm like, how in the world? Because, I had my other car, I want to say for 5, 6, or 7 years before I got this one. And I remember changing the battery once, right? Just one time, and never changing it again before I ended up buying this particular car. Like one time. So for me to have to, I've only had this car for 4 years. For me to have to change the battery, maybe 5 years, for me to have to change the battery twice, that I don't even remember changing, the oldest car I owned. Don't remember changing the battery that much to remember it. And I remember just changing this battery, and it's been since my divorce, which my divorce has only been since the last year. So it just didn't make sense to me. Why is my battery out? And sure enough, my battery was under warranty. I had a small fee to pay, and that was it, because it was warranted. And I was thinking that there's no way it could be the battery. That's there's no way it can be the battery. There's no way, but that's okay. Best YouTuber around. Oh, thank you, love. You're so sweet to me. You are so sweet. And by the way, that's the one that bought our beloved BS button. I'm going to wear that thing out. I swear to God, it's going to be, we're talking about batteries. I'm going to need to buy a stock load of batteries for the BS button. As the mechanic's wife, I let you know that you wouldn't believe how many parts are bad from the store, especially batteries. Oh, I believe it. I believe it. And this wasn't the first time, because remember when we all drove up to Tennessee, remember I had the car problems coming out, and that was from one of my ignition coils. I had just replaced all my ignition coils 6 months before that trip. Those ignition coils typically last 2 to 3 years. On those, I ended up replacing them with lifetime because I never want to go through that again. That was scary. I thought my car was going to die. Like, I thought there was some engine problem with it, and I'm thinking I can't afford to buy a new car. Like, what's going on? And come to find out, because I did not want to believe it was those ignition coils, because the ignition coils were just changed out. It was similar to this. So I don't know what it is. That's two different things that was replaced on that car that ended up having some kind of funky issue with it. I don't get it. I've never had this problem. So I think the problems are finally resolving. You know, I think good karma's coming and stuff like that. But I don't know. I do believe things happen for a reason. And what it was acquired after this last battery thing, I've now got one of those battery jumpers. So apparently I'm going to have to use it sometime to help somebody else or to help myself. That's what we acquired through this. So that's the only thing, is I guess I was supposed to have that for some point in the future. I don't make the rules. I just follow them. Betty in chat, will you give guys prayers for Arkansas? We were supposed to get hit with more storms today and yesterday. I was able to see our capital is demolished. So prayers, please. Absolutely. Wow. I'm so sorry to hear that. And for all the people, I mean, there's been some there was a building collapse. People have lost their lives. There was some massive tornadoes, massive fronts that moved through that has just decimated Arkansas. There's other states too. I think I was hearing stuff coming out of Ohio. I heard things coming out of Kentucky. So there was a lot of people that are displaced from this storm system that has, went across that area. So for all of you, including Arkansas, because I heard Arkansas got hit pretty hard. Little Rock, I heard was really bad as well. And so all the victims, yes, we're absolutely praying for you. I can't believe it. I am so sorry. But thank God you're here. Thank God you survived. And just remember, everything can be replaced. You cannot. So when these things come, you got to detach yourself from, we always attach ourselves to chattel, to inanimate, objects and property, the picture, the armoire, mine is my hutch and my Bernhardt bedroom set, like that. Those two items were my happy place. I was able to get those things, and I love them. And I can, I have an attachment to them. So I would never want them to be destroyed, but I would definitely never I would get myself to safety. I know at the end of the day, as much as I hate it, those are replaceable items. So we just want everybody to be safe. And, if you have to lose everything, you have to lose everything, but you'll never lose everything if you have yourself and you're safe and healthy. You can always rebuild and always do better. So prayers for everybody. Like Fort Myers, getting hit. It's going to take a while to rebuild. It's going to take a while. People are going to be struggling for a while in those areas. This is not, even when it goes away from the news and spotlight, the people in that area still have a lot of work ahead of them. When we forget about them, they're still remembering because they still have a lot of work ahead of them. So prayers to everybody. Thank you, Amber, for bringing that to my attention to make sure we have. Miss Robin, you're so sweet. Miss Robin's trying to get me fat on the Starbucks. She knows what I'm going to get. Peppermint mocha. I'm a peppermint mocha junkie. Okay, so we really do need to kind of move on here. So I appreciate it, but I want to get to this because we do have this trial going on for Leticia Stauch, and we want to make sure that we're able to see what's going on there. So just give me just a few moments. Let me get this geared up, and we're going to have a commercial. Oops, we're going to have a commercial. Let me take this banner down on here. So just bear with me while I get it up. And I don't know if it'll let me. So let's go ahead and I think I can skip.
Trial for a woman accused of killing her stepson is set to begin. Leticia Stauch will appear in front of a judge tomorrow morning. Now, Stauch was arrested after her stepson Gannon was found dead in Florida back in March of 2020. This trial comes after a long wait following Stauch entering a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity, since she has undergone several mental health evaluations. 11 News reporter Caitlin Quisenberry joins me live in studio. Caitlin, you have a breakdown of this case for us.
Grace, let's go back to January 27th of 2020. That's when El Paso County Sheriff's Office received a call for a runaway 11-year-old Gannon. Just 2 days later, Gannon's case was upgraded to an endangered missing child's case. The following day, 11 News spoke exclusively with Leticia Gannon's stepmother and now alleged killer.
I would never, ever hurt this child.
On February 3rd, a neighbor comes forward with home surveillance video showing a driver and passenger getting into a truck the day Gannon went missing. Only one person returned hours later. February 13th, the search for Gannon expanded into Douglas County, only to be suspended 8 days later.
The community needs to have faith and continue to work together.
Monday, March 2nd, Leticia Stauch is arrested in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. 3 days later, she is back in Colorado Springs for a video advisement hearing.
Gannon, when you get here, you'll be able to truly tell what happened. And then I really hope I get a sincere apology from everyone.
March 13th, a Colorado Springs judge announced a trial date for Leticia starting March 20th.
I'm just ready for Gannon to come home. Most importantly, for him to see his family.
Come the 20th, 54 days since Gannon first went missing, authorities announced they believe the remains of Gannon are in Florida. The court adds new file charges against Leticia.
My main thing is I would never want someone to think that I would hurt Gannon.
Since her arrest, Leticia has undergone multiple mental health evaluations. The judge for the case set a deadline for her mental health report to be done by this week. So far, those results have not been made public. Stauch's trial is set to begin at 9 a.m. tomorrow. We will be in the courtroom and we'll be bringing you the latest. Back to you.
Very important case. Thank you so much, Caitlin.
All right, there you guys have it. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys kind of got up to date with the information related to this case. You kept writing the judge. Yeah, and this is probably, you know, it was their luggage. She went to Florida. She was busted in South Carolina, and she drove all this way with this child in the back of her car dead from Colorado to Florida. And that, to me, you know, there's very few people that go out of their way like that. Like, she was the outlier in our statistics. We talk about statistics all the time and about what statistics say, because we've got enough, you know, there's been enough murders and stuff across this country that we can, you know, the law of large numbers, we can find statistics because of, you know, proximity. There's a lot of details in those reports. So typically, when somebody is murdered at the hands of their family member, you know, or loved one or somebody like that, they're usually within, depending on the size of the area, whether it's a rural area, a suburban area, an urban area, there's a criteria for searching that, you know, it's statistics. That not everybody fits in the statistics. That's why there's statistics. So this is one that would be an outlier, because statistics say, unless she was in a rural area, she would have disposed of this child fairly close to her home, typically within 1 to 5 miles, you know, from the house to 5 miles, I should say. In rural areas, that area is expanded to about 20 miles or so. In urban areas, much smaller. So there's some statistics that help us, give us guidelines on where to start looking for a missing person. Even if we believe the person that we're seeing or getting information from is potentially a suspect or a person of interest, we still have some guidelines of where to work and how to you know, preview the maps and what areas to look at. You guys know, whenever I go in there, there's a reason why I hone in on swampy areas and why I hone in on heavily treed areas, you know, like forest type areas. There's a reason why I focus on them. We're finding out that we need to be focusing on dumpsters more now than ever. And so we're, you know, we never really did look at them, but we never really look in them. You know what I'm saying? So now we're having to incorporate looking into these dumpsters, because we're finding out people are getting wise and starting to use, well, they've been using them for a while, but it seems like they're making a popular debut out here with the streets of, you know, on the streets with these criminals. So we have to look at those. But typically I always look at waters and heavily treed areas, forest-like areas, heavily dense areas. Those are places that are prime for dumping as well. And then, like, even with Talon, there was a big body of water near that man's house. That would have been something that would have been identified by our team as a place that we needed to look at and search. With the additional information from people in the community saying that, you know, this is gator infested water. People in the area know that this is gator infested water. With that information, that would have been maybe a starting point for us as well. But typically we move from the house or where the action happened or where the person disappeared from, and we work out from that home. We don't go to the outskirts and work our way in. We start from that home and work our way out. That's how I work. Now, some other people may have different strategies that work for them, but that's what's always has worked for us. That's what makes sense to me in my brain and my mind, and that's how we would do it. So her taking this child all the way to Florida was pretty extensive. It's something that only a few people would be willing to do. So she really did plan this out. And we also found that there was a life insurance policy where she was the only beneficiary of that life insurance policy for Gannon. Yeah, I believe the courts will prove her actions, just like Alec Murdaugh. But the difference is the difference I believe that we're going to see potentially with the Leticia Stauch case as opposed to Alex Murdaugh case is because Alex Murdaugh case, they never really proved that he himself did the crime. What they proved beyond a reasonable doubt is nobody else could have. And I think in this one, they've got enough evidence to prove she committed the crime in addition to nobody else could commit it. With the camera, you know, seeing her leave the house with him and not come back with him, there's going to be, you know, there's a little bit, they're different. I think they're going to have different arguments altogether. But I like the legal argument for Murdaugh. It wasn't, you know, everybody's like, they didn't prove their case that he did it. Yeah, they did, because even though they didn't prove that they didn't have a photo showing him with the gun actually shooting his son or his wife, they did prove that nobody else would have or could have been there to commit this act other than him. And then coupled that with him lying up to the moment that he got on that stand about where he was and what he did that day really did seal his fate. And people on the jury, they're human beings. They're not legal scholars. They go by common sense and what's in their heart and soul. And that's what's the beauty of the justice system. So they weren't fooled by Alec Murdaugh. They weren't fooled. And one of those jurors said he acted like he was crying on that stance, but when we looked over at him, we couldn't see one tear come out of his eye. That came from one of the jurors on the Alec Murdaugh case. While we're looking at him thinking he's sitting there crying and sniveling and he's got snot coming out of his nose, not one tear was rolling down his face at that time. So that was what sealed the deal for the jury there. Those things do play into their decision. Your behavior on that stand, your behavior in that courtroom does play heavily with the jury. So we need to remember that. Leticia lied and tried to deceive everyone. She deserves nothing less than maximum sentence that a judge can award. I agree. And Pete, she's going to play this insanity plea. I don't think she's insane. I really don't think she's insane. I think she did a despicable act because she didn't want to be a stepmom anymore. And instead of just divorcing her husband like any other unhappy woman has done across this country for many years, she resented her husband and wanted to hurt him. And for whatever reason, she did not care for this boy. She did not want to be a stepmom to this boy. Many of you guys know, I come from a military family. My stepdad, he was a Marine. My uncle, he was a United States Navy man. He wasn't Navy SEAL, but he was on the boats. And he was there for, I think, 20 or 30 years on the Navy boat. He was part of the Navy. Loved the water. But, you know, he was a military family. My aunt had to raise her sons a lot by herself because my uncle was overseas. Whenever you marry somebody that's in the military, you're marrying into a military family, which means that whoever is in the military, whether it be your wife or your husband, they may not be home to help you raise the kids. You know this going into it. You take this on yourself. You know what you're expecting. So if she was a military mom and she didn't want her son, there was a few things she could have done. Clearly, these children have a mother. She could have definitely said, you need to take these kids until your ex-husband comes back. I'm filing for divorce. I'm done. She could have done that. She could have called her husband and said, you know, I'm going to divorce you. You need to figure out what to do with these kids. They're driving me nuts. They can't stay here anymore. There was a lot of things that she could have done. If she was so unhappy. She was obviously having affairs behind her husband. And that does happen in the military. I will tell you, there are a lot of divorces due to the fact of the time and the distance that some of these families stay away from each other. Sometimes it's a couple years. Sometimes women have children and they're 2 years old before they ever see their father in the flesh for the first time. Yes, Miss Potty Mouth, I did receive documentation that she had a USAA policy for Gannon's life, and she was the only beneficiary of that policy. Not his father, she was. Diminished mental capacity is hard to prove depending on the state. It's very hard to prove. In many cases, most attorneys don't want to use this as a defense because it's so hard to get a not guilty verdict. I mean, you have to seriously be insane to get it. Not have emotional problems. That doesn't justify insanity. Not being a narcissist. Not being a psychopath. That's not insane. But there are insane people out there. There are truly insane people out there that do things and don't realize what they're doing is wrong. And that's what the insanity plea is for. They're going to be able to easily overcome this insanity plea because, one, when you're insane, you don't realize what you did was wrong. Therefore, you're like, yeah, he went out and I punched him. That's what I'm supposed to do. He did this and I shot him. That's what I'm supposed to do. You don't lie. You don't cover up. You don't pack a child up in a suitcase and take them all the way thousands of miles away to Florida. You don't try to cover your tracks. Those are not actions of an insane person. Those are actions of a person that knows what they did was wrong and knows that they have to hide their crime. That is not something that comes from an insane person. So where was his biological mother? Apparently he has a biological mother. And, I don't know why the father got the children. It might have been because he's in the military, had better benefits, could take care of the kids better. We don't know that dynamic. I haven't heard, nor have I looked into the parent's mother. But from what I hear, she did have visitation. And she may have actually shared some portion of custody with him, at least at some point. So they did come back from a visit at their mother's house not too far before he, from my understanding, not too far before he lost his life. She could have just not picked them up. You know, there were so many things that she could have done. She could have just left. She could have just left. But for what we hear is she went into his bedroom, and that is where all of this was committed, is in his own room. And we heard him crying, and she's saying, we're going to have to sell this. We're going to have to sell that to fix this, but so we don't get kicked out of this room. And all he's saying is, I understand, but all I'm concerned about is my burns. So he must have been burnt pretty bad, because many of us, you know, we get burnt, we get blisters. We're not really that concerned. It didn't even seem like she administered ice on those burns. We didn't hear her go and get a bag of peas or anything else for that little boy. She just went into manipulating him. Yeah, I believe they shared custody. There you are. Yeah, I do too. And so she could have sent these children over to the mother's house and said, look, they ain't my kids, right? She didn't seem to have a problem being a nasty, you know, biatch. Why not just go to the mom and say, look, these are not my damn kids. You take care of your kids until your ex-husband gets back. I'm done. I'm divorcing him. I'm done. I don't want your stinking kids. I think they're pathetic. Whatever she wants to do. Whatever she wants to do. Fun size, I agree. No excuses for cheating, period. I don't believe there's any excuses. If you don't like who you're with, divorce them. Get away from them. Move out. Then you can carry on your life. But what you don't do is you shouldn't, okay, there's a lot of people that do. What you shouldn't do is be out there, you know, cheating on your significant other, especially one that's putting his life on the line to protect our rights here in the United States. But even if you wanted to, you know what you can do? You file divorce. You file for divorce. I can tell you me and my ex-husband, that wasn't an issue. He didn't diddly around. You know, our issues weren't that in nature. Our issues were something completely different. Even up to us filing for divorce, we didn't fool around like that. Right after the divorce was filed, of course, my ex-husband, you know, he went out with his brother, stayed out until like 2 o'clock in the morning, came home, you know, just completely crap-faced. And I'm like, you didn't do this the whole time we were married. You know, you're not going to start this now. If you're wanting to get out there and go chasing, you know, skirts and stuff, go out and do it. You know, we're getting a divorce, but you're not going to do it while you're staying in this house. And so he chose to move. You know, he chose to move. But it's not something that you should do. And not only that, there are so many people that have lost their lives because of these love triangles. So it's something that really, you know, it's an instinctual thing. You know, when you're angry, something can get you really angry and you lose your shit. And people have been found not guilty by insanity because they went insane for that split second. And by the time they came off of that, the damage was done. So, you know, there are things, but I don't believe in that, because even if somebody doesn't get killed, you know, by a love triangle, somebody's definitely getting hurt. And, you know, if you don't want that to happen to you, you shouldn't be doing that to anybody else. So that's my stance on that. And not only that, but you know what? A lot of good can come by keeping your legs what? Right? Because you don't want what? Right? Sorry, guys. Yeah, we say no to the oh, you cheat. Realize what you have at home and never do it again. I wouldn't burden my partner with the knowledge, but I wouldn't cheat. Exactly. And not only that, I think everybody, you know, as a young person, I know when I was a young person, you don't even think of it. You know, when I was 20 something, diddling around, fooling around with somebody else, you know, I think everybody was doing that. I don't know. But, you know, as you get older, you realize when you get into more mature relationships and stuff like that, that's just not, you just don't do that. It really does come down to who you are as a person. For me, I'm not cheating. I would rather get a divorce. Now, I've had one divorce. That's going to be the last divorce Bullhorn Betty ever has. I'm either never getting married again, or when I get married, they're just going to have to deal with it. because they ain't getting a divorce. No, I may not get married again. I may not get married again. I don't know. I believe in the sanctity of marriage, but obviously I don't do well at picking guys. I can tell you, since I got all the trash out of my life, I've had an amazing time. I've had an amazing life, and I'm able to do good. And I found myself, I found my voice, and I wouldn't have been able to do that again had I not gone through all this nonsense. My ex cheated. The day I found out, I left ASAP with my son, who was 2 months at the time, left behind everything. Was in Michigan and flew back to family in Connecticut. Well, good for you. And a lot of people, I mean, even Kaylee Gonzalez, what a beacon of a young, beautiful woman, an emerging woman, where she knew her value. There's nobody that Kaylee Gonzalez knew her value. And that was a beautiful thing. And if I can impress that upon anybody in my chat, is learn your value. You are a very valuable person. Your value has no limit on it. Okay. A lot of people don't. They think they're losers or this, that, and the other. They're not. You have value. Kaylee Gonzalez knew her value. This guy was just joking around with her and said, "Make me a quesadilla, bitch." And she was highly offended that any man would call her a bitch, that she literally didn't think twice, picked up every bit of her stuff and walked out the door. And what a beautiful thing. And if more young, beautiful women in general, learn that value of themselves, they would never allow somebody to disparage them, even jokingly. So she had her value. She knew her value. And many women in here are learning their value. I had to learn mine. So that was a beautiful thing. Let me get on to one other thing here. Where is it? Is it this one? This one? Give me just a second. I lost where my article was. Maybe it is this article. But I think we played it as let me see if I can. Let me pull this up real quick and see if it's just the video. I think it's just the video that I did. Hold on. Let me make this smaller. There we go. Let me see if this is up. Okay, perfect. So I wanted to read, because they did the video, but I did want to read the article as well, but we're having a hard time with the stickiness of this. So this is in Colorado Springs, and it just really breaks down the timeline for everybody in my audience. On January 27th at 6:55, and mind you guys, I can't read I'm on a different screen, so I don't even see the chat or the comments that are being posted. So just bear with me. I'll try to go back. Let me see what time it is. So I'll try to go back to that time. So it's 9:30 right now. And in about a half hour, we should be able to start getting signed up for Leticia's hearing. It's supposed to start at 10 Eastern Standard Time from what they said. So January 27th, 2020 at 6:55 p.m., the El Paso County Sheriff's Office was dispatched, receives call of a runaway child at the 6600 block of Mandan Drive in the Lorson Ranch neighborhood. At 7:32 p.m., Gannon Stauch entered into the state, and national databases as an active runaway. Last seen between 3 and 4 p.m. on the 27th. So you're talking about a young boy that hadn't been seen since 3 o'clock or potentially 4 o'clock in that afternoon, yet it took the stepmom, almost 3 hours to report him as a runaway. So that in and of itself was not, was a red flag for me. Nothing found in the initial search. The next day on January 28th, around just a little after lunchtime, 12:29, the case was turned over to, it looks like, the El Paso Sheriff's Office investigators. Detective conducted interviews, collected surveillance, followed up on additional leads. And then the next day, that Wednesday, the 29th, investigation continues. Not a whole lot of information other than that. By January 30th, the case was upgraded from a runaway to an endangered missing child. The El Paso Sheriff's Office requested sources from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children and FBI Crime Abduction Rapid Deployment Team, which is the CART team that we hear so much about from the FBI, which is a fabulous unit that does a lot of work in helping find missing kids. On January 31st, 2020, Leticia Stauch speaks exclusively to an 11 News reporter, Spencer Wilson. And that was the interview that you saw where she wouldn't let them put the camera on her face. She only let them record her from her backside. Neighbors came forward with home surveillance video showing a driver and a passenger getting into the truck the day Gannon went missing, and only one person returned hours later. 2 days after that, on February 5th, the 4th Judicial District Attorney, Dan May, is first seen at the Stauch home. So now they're bringing in the district attorney saying something isn't smelling right. We need to make sure we're conducting this investigation thoroughly so we can maintain and make sure that we get all the evidence that we need to prosecute if this goes to trial. That was on February 5th. When that district attorney comes in, that means that there's something majorly going on. So they're saying this child disappeared on January 27th. I can tell you by February 5th, their eyes were on Leticia Stauch, especially with the attorney, the district attorney coming in to preview the Stauch home. That was when they started gearing. If they hadn't already started looking at her as a suspect or person of interest, the day that he came in, they obviously had already determined that she was a person of interest or a suspect. On February 13th, 2020, this reminds me, this happened right before Valentine's Day. How horrible. February 13th, 2020, the search for Gannon moves into Douglas County. Douglas County search suspended. Officers say there remains a potential for search efforts to start up anytime. I think they determined at that point he was not in the area. On March 2nd, Leticia was arrested in Myrtle Beach. On March 4th, Leticia reportedly attacked a deputy and was held in Kansas jail, according to a source. On March 5th, Leticia arrives in Colorado Springs for a video advisement hearing. On March 11th, Leticia appears in El Paso courtroom and is formally charged with Gannon's death. So we went from, and this is another very quick turnaround. So they latched on to her. Her story wasn't making sense. Police aren't stupid. They were learning really quickly that something wasn't smelling right. They brought in the FBI CART team, as well as the state and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children to help in the case. That means that ramped up. And then you got this, the district attorney going to their home. They knew very well that Leticia was the primary and most likely the only suspect in their mind, but they still have to follow up on leads. They still have to treat everybody as a suspect. And then finally, she was arrested and charged with his murder. So on that, and that was on March 11th. So the turnaround time, she didn't do a good job at throwing them off. They had her dead to rights by March 11th. And again, the altercation or the incident happened January 27th. So they really did do a great job in identifying evidence and identifying the person responsible, allegedly. Again, just to let you guys know, this is the Bullhorn Betty channel. If you have not realized, this is not a court of law. The suspects in these cases are not innocent until proven guilty here on this channel. We talk about these cases. However, each and every person in the United States are innocent, are presumed innocent until being proved guilty in a court of law. She is going before the court of law. She has a presumption of innocence until that jury says she's guilty. However, over here on the Bullhorn Betty show, we do not have to follow those laws, right? Because this is not a court of what? Law. This is the Bullhorn Betty channel. So we are going to say our opinion is that she is responsible for this crime, and it is the opinion of me that she is not insane and should not and will not be successful on those defenses. On March 20th, 2020, the authorities announced they believe they found Gannon's remains in Florida and filed new charges against Leticia. April 2nd, 2021, arrest papers in the murder case leaked on social media. So social media was able to acquire, I don't know why they call them being leaked, because it sounds like somebody was able to request those documents, and those documents were then previewed on social media. A month later, a little over a month later, paralegals for Brighton City Attorney's Office charged with misdemeanor for allegedly leaking. Oh, I guess they did allegedly leak Leticia Stauch's affidavit. So this was actually leaked from somebody in the office. I thought it was maybe somebody from social media that did, because I've done that. You know, I've requested documents, document requests through the proper channels and received the response back, and it had something in it that maybe they accidentally sent to me, but it was done through the normal course of business and done above board. So I used it. As long as it's not going to damage too much of the case or anything like that. You know, I'm not in there to try to get these criminals off. You know, we're trying to get them, charged guilty and off to jail. So June 4th, 11 News obtains a second arrest affidavit revealed Leticia allegedly concocted a plot to escape from jail. Wow, this lady, I don't think this lady is insane. She sure seems to have a good head on her shoulders, a very manipulative one. And she seems to be very, able to at least concentrate and preview some of the lacks in security where she was at, including measuring herself to see whether she would fit through a window and obtain a broom to break the glass. New charges filed against Leticia. So then we fast forward all the way to 2021, January 19th, the second of two mental health evaluations find Leticia competent to stand trial. Judge agrees to let Leticia defend herself on February 26, 2021. Leticia represents herself for the first time on March 5th, 2021. April 8th, Leticia's jail library privileges were revoked after she reportedly refused twice to use her allotted time. May 3rd, 2021, court announces through release of documents that Leticia will no longer be representing herself and will get a new public defender. September 2021, judge rules that there's sufficient evidence against Leticia for the case and moves it to trial. So that was kind of at the end of the third quarter of 2021. And then we fast forward to 2022, and Leticia changes a plea from not guilty to a plea of guilty by reason of insanity. After months of being told more times for evaluation was needed, the judge warns the defense that they had 4 more weeks to get it done, or the state hospital would be required to explain the delay. By August 9th, the judge holds a hearing to discuss the competency results, and the results were not read publicly, but 11 news crews in the courtroom heard the words sane used in reference to the evaluation. And that's what I was going to say, that a lot of her conduct shows conduct of a sane person. September, now we're at the very end of 2022, the judge grants a second evaluation. Leticia arrives to the hearing an hour late, prompting the judge to rule that all force reasonably necessary can be used to make sure she leaves the jail on time on court days. So he's telling them they don't care if they have to shackle her and drag her to court. She's going to court and she better be there on time. October 13th, a trial date is set for March 2023. And then March 20th, 2023, the jury selection begins. So I really wanted to give you guys the timeline related to this case. so you guys are updated on it because we are going to be moving forward. So give me just a minute. I know that that took a little while, and I want to go through and see if there's any questions in the chat because I was on another screen and haven't been able to watch any. Miss Pete saying 11 Eastern Standard. Well, the document let me pull this back up. The document that I was looking at says it starts right here at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It says trial. It says Sunday, December 31st, 2021. What is this? Not the one I want. Back to the list. Hold on, let me go back to the list. Actually, let me just take that off. I'm going to go back to the list and look at it again. Hold on a second. I got to get signed into WebEx. Let's see. Join webinar. Open WebEx. Okay. Show me my permissions. WebEx allows microphones. Okay. I'd like to access the microphone. Okay. Like record. Record this computer screen. Okay. Just a second. Sorry, I got to turn on my screen for WebEx. Okay. Okay. So we're reopening WebEx because apparently they got to be able to record. So there we go. Okay, we are muted. Webinar will start soon. Thanks for waiting. So we've got the WebEx up. Let me find where I'm at. Let me pull this. So just to let you guys know, there we are. Webinar will start soon. Thanks for waiting. So as you see, the host is the judge, and the co-host is probably the oh, you can't see it. It didn't show me. Okay, let me stop the screen. Either way, we're on the WebEx. Stop screen. First of all, I'm not lying, and there is actually a legal documentation. Clearly, you're not researching right. But hold on, because we got idiots that don't know how to do anything. And first of all, don't ever come in here calling me a liar. If I got information incorrect, like I said, I did review the actual court document that asserted the actual court document that says her name, the state of Colorado, her name, the case number, and it specifically stated the life insurance for USAA. But that's okay. That's okay. I will show you, but don't ever come in here and call me a liar. If I get facts incorrect, they're incorrect facts. They're not lies. Lie is an intentional deception. Intentional deception. So whoever did this is still standing. I want blocked. Actually, no, time them out. Whoever did this, time them out. You're not going to be in here and be disrespectful. That is one, you're violating a rule of this channel, and we will not tolerate it. So if you want to be respectful, thank you for the $1.99, but you need to watch your step. You need to watch your step. I have no problem kicking you out. Let me find it because I know 100% that I read it. Saw it with my own eyes. Saw it with my own eyes. Actually, let me just look it up this way. I'll be right back. Well, you guys are going to sit here with me. Okay. Actually, I think that was it right there. Was that it? No. Let's see. Where's my other Twitter? Is this it? This might be it. No. Okay. The life insurance policy is actually suing her. So still standing. Don't want to believe it? You can't lie. So why are you up in here in my channel lying? Why are you lying on the Bullhorn Betty channel? Again, showing that you say point over here, don't look over here, right? Because I don't know what I'm talking about. But here we got the USAA life insurance. 2023. 2023. Let's see, where is it? Leticia life insurance. Here we go. By reason of insanity. We will get that. I can't find it now, but I know it was on Twitter. So let me see if I can find Twitter. Or did you, who sent it to me? Let me look. Actually, let me take this off because I don't want to dox people. Let me remove this. Let's remove this because I got people in my chat I don't want anybody seeing. Who sent me the Stauch complaint? She's actually being charged with it, and I've got to find it, but USAA insurance. I did read it with my own eyes. So I know that there's no way that this is inaccurate because I saw the actual court document and it said Leticia Stauch on it. So I think I pulled up the wrong life insurance policy on the other ones. But either way, definitely not a lie. I would do a little bit better at your research because you look foolish on here. And yes, she did. And it said Gannon stock on it. But I will find it. And when I do, I will put it up there. I know it's got to be on a tab because I read it and I just can't remember. Is it on my phone? Actually, that's a good idea. Let me just see if I got it opened on my phone still. That's the BK stuff. I don't give two shits about that. Does anybody have that link? I know I'm almost confident it was YouTube, or not YouTube. I'm almost confident that it was Twitter that had it on it. But I don't see it on here. And I did so much research. I wonder if I did send it to myself. It seems like something that I would send to myself. So let me see. Catch Vernon. No, that's not it. Memorandum, is this it? No. Okay, so I can't find it, but I will find it because I did read it. I saw it with my own two eyes, so it's not like one of these things that just fall off. I mean, let's see where it's at. If anybody finds it, send it to me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com. But it's something that's going on in social media, and it's a court doc. It's a court document that is going around. So I'd like to get that. I'll read that online just to make sure. But yeah, if we get information wrong, I mean, we may misspeak. I mean, a lot of this stuff kind of is a fluid situation. But I tell you what, as far as intentionally deceiving my audience, no. And why would I deceive my audience on somebody I don't know, like Leticia Stauch? Give me a break. So grow up and realize that unless every time that you make a mistake, you're a liar, right? Oh, but right. Okay, right. You can make mistakes and you're not a liar, but I make mistakes. But you just were found out to be a liar yourself. So what documents are you looking for? There is a court document going around talking about the USAA policy that Leticia had on Gannon, where she was the primary beneficiary of. That came out, and I can't remember. I did see it. I did read it. It was part of my research this morning, but apparently I have already, I can't find it. So because it was on my phone. So I don't know how to look up my history on my phone, but I did review it. I saw it, and it had Leticia Stauch's name on it. Or Stauch. I'm so bad about calling her that way. So I just need to find that document. It might actually be in her current case. I didn't check the case number. I don't remember it. But I do remember reading, and it was cut off. It was just a picture of the style of it. And then it read the first paragraph, the photo that's out of the document. Let me look at one other thing. You know what? I think I may know where it came from. Hold on a second. I have possibly. Possibly. Give me just a second. It was one of the people that release the public record docs. So it could have potentially been the docket. It could have been Sleuthy Goosey. I don't remember, but one of them submitted. Oh, at any rate, I'm not going to look too much time. I will bring it back up. I will find it. I will find it because I saw it. So I will find it again, and I make sure I save it. So check messages. Thank you, Lisa Marie. Let me go over there right now. Their stuff was delivered. I don't know. Got it outside. Oh, I've got a neighbor. I don't know if that's. I see your thing, Jennifer. I've got a neighbor that takes care of the stuff. I don't see anything just yet that came in. So I'll wait for a few minutes and check again. Where did you send it? Gmail? Yeah, Boston Mom. You saw that too? Okay. Yeah, I just need to find it again so I can put it up here. We leave the cockroaches to lie. We don't lie on this channel. We provide facts. Sometimes the facts I may get them wrong, but we always correct them. I definitely don't intentionally lie. Jesus. Pebbles said it. All standing still has to look at military benefits. Yeah, she had, and I think that's really why she married that guy. I don't think she realized she was going to be a stepmom, be lonely. I'm sure she didn't want to be a wife or a mother. She liked that. And I don't even know if she worked. I think she just liked not having to work and somebody taking care of her. And had he not had kids, it would have been a perfect relationship, right? She would be collecting his income and living her life as she wanted while he was serving our country. And then if he got killed serving our country, she would reap all those benefits. Meanwhile, just being a nasty, despicable woman behind his back. It was just really sad. Twitter at Bullhorn. Let me look at my Twitter account and see if it was sent there. Bullhorn, we are wanting you to be Dustin Andrews. I don't know why I get the vibe of you, why I get the vibe that you're probably a troll, because one, most people that do podcasts or work for newspapers usually use proper English and know how to type well and don't make mistakes and don't write their names with lowercase letters. They usually are it's almost organic how punctual they are because that's how they write. So just based on how you wrote this and how you wrote your name, I can assure you, you're not associated with any news podcast or Illinois newspaper, but you're probably associated with a channel, a hate channel, because they're the only channels that I always see misspellings on. Just saying. If you're not, you can reach out to me with your credentials at bullhornbetty@gmail.com, like every other news outlet that speaks to me. And there are a lot. And they have proper spelling and punctuations, just to let you know. Crimes and Lines posted her taking out the policy. There we go. There we go. Crimes, Lies, and Lines posted about her taking out a USAA policy out on Gannon's name. She didn't share paperwork, though, just wrote it. No, somebody took a picture of the paperwork, just the top part of it. They didn't put the arguments or the rest of the pages in it. They only had the style of the case and like the first paragraph talking about it. So good morning, Ali Oxenfree. Nice to see you. Nice to have you. Have uppercase names, LOL. He is Hunter's dad. Yeah, I agree, BHB. That's why I referred to email. Let me just check the emails again and see if I got that in just yet. And then I'll go over there and check Twitter. But yeah, it's well known about this policy. I mean, only an idiot that doesn't know how to do research. Timeline, trial here. But we will get it. We will get it. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. We're just waiting for the trial to actually start. As a matter of fact, we can probably go ahead and put that up on the screen. Let me stop sharing this one and start sharing our WebEx. Oh, sorry, our WebEx screen. Where is that? Hold on, let me see where our WebEx screen is. Okay, we did get into the system. There it is. All right, so we do have this WebEx meeting. Let me see how to put this down. And let me just, while I'm in the Idaho stuff, let me just see if there's any new stuff entered in on this docket real quick before I put it down in the bottom. Okay. Associated Press, nothing new on that one, and nothing new in Brian Koberger's stuff. So let me get back over here. There's the WebEx. Let me do the window. Let's see if I can get windows up. No windows. Entire screen, so no windows. It better allow me to do this. Huh. Guys, you're going to have to just give me just a minute. I don't know why the WebEx stuff is not allowing me to share the screen for WebEx. Put this. Better let me frickin' play this WebEx stuff. Otherwise, I'm going to be pissed. The entire screen. I don't have audio on this entire screen. This is just crazy. I think I might have audio on this. All right, I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that. Share screen. Because it's not a Chrome tab. It's a window. Lordy, it's driving me nuts. Hold on, let me go over here and see if I can just play this on my computer or if I have to have the WebEx shit downloaded because this is going to cause me problems. I'm going to be so frustrated if they've got me. So we're not even going to have audio for this thing. This is just getting frustrating. So we'll see. Well, I've got to figure out how we're going to work this today. Hold on a second. Leticia planned, so on June 4, 2021, Leticia planned to escape from jail, mental health evaluation, Judge Grant says blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I got that. And go to the next one. Okay, well, this will be useful, but I just can't, I need to find the one that says about her, about the USAA stuff. All right. Stauch. So Eugene Stauch, Ladin Hoyt, and Leticia Stauch. It was from the U.S. District Court, District of Columbia. The presiding judge is Philip A. Brimmer. The suit nature is insurance, and it's an interpleader type of court case. And so, yeah, they're basically saying that they're not giving her the money. They're not paying out. They're not going to pay out that. They're not going to pay out the claim. They want an interpleader. So if there's another error, I guess it can go to that error. I think that's it. So I don't know what to do about this whole WebEx thing. We're going to have a hard time getting it on this, on StreamYard. We're going to have a hard time. What I'm probably going to have to do is bring somebody up here, that can play their volume, because the problem is I've got this MacBook Pro, and and on a Windows product, I could use the share entire screen feature and have audio. For whatever they've done behind the scenes, they have disabled it for MacBook or for Mac products. That happened about 2 months ago. And I don't think they realize it, because every time I talk to them, they said, oh, you just have to click the button for the audio. Well, we have no button for audio on MacBook Pros. But when I hook up my web or my Windows product, you have that option on there. So I don't know, you can't use Law and Crime. I can use Law and Crime. Are they running it? I have channel 19 as well that's running this. So we'll figure it out. I would just like my WebEx to work right. I would like this StreamYard to do what I pay for it to do. I like that. Yes, they are running it. Okay, so we'll have to let me go over here to Law and Crime and see if we can pull that up. But it's just irritating. I don't know why I need to have their emblem, on my stuff that I have access to. Like, I literally have WebEx right here, and they won't let me use it. And I just wish they wouldn't make us download WebEx that we could watch this from. But you know what we can do? We can mute. This might be what we can do. We can watch what's going on in the courtroom, but they also have call-in, WebEx call-in instructions. So we could actually mute the WebEx, or I can play the WebEx and mute it, and we can hear the audio come in from the WebEx phone lines. Yeah, I've got the WebEx, but they made me download WebEx, and it's not in right now. I can tell you, because I don't have my my Windows. I got to buy another Windows program, because the other computer that I was using before I got the MacBook Pro, it drops. It'll be up, and it seems like as soon as it gets a little hot or something, and maybe the cooling fan's not working, it shuts down. So I don't know what's wrong with it. I just went to Law and Order, but they want you to pay. Law and Order wants you to, You mean Law and Crime on YouTube wants you to pay? Never heard that. I mean, I guess it's possible, but I've never heard. Hold on, Law and Crime. They're doing something live right now. Oh, they do. I want you to pay. Well, you can get you can get it free from somebody else. That was stupid. Who the hell wants to pay that? Yeah, and it was News, not 9 News that I was watching. So, and it looks like they were running it yesterday. So let's see if News 9. We also got Denver 7 that's running it, and we got Law and Crime Network. Well, why aren't the hate channels going out saying that Law and Crime are picking the bones off a dead boy and now profiting off of it? Where's the haters over there? $1.99 to watch the Leticia Stauch trial when it's available to everybody on WebEx. Give me a break. Seriously, give me a break. Let me get the call in, because if we have to call in, we'll just call in. And I've got that stuff up here. It's not a big deal. I'm not paying $1.99 to support a channel that's forcing their audience to pay $1.99. If you don't think Law and Crime is making a shit ton of money on YouTube as well as on their stuff, you're slap nuts. Betty texts the information about the life insurance. Yeah, I know. I read it. I read it online. Thank you. The real me too. For real, I watched the whole Depp Heard trial for free. I know. Whoa, that's crazy. I didn't know you had to pay. Never heard of that before. The real tragedy pimp greed machines out there. And where's the cockroaches over there saying, how dare they? How dare they? Oh, I watched on Grizzly True Crime. Yeah, I need to start working on trying to get something else. This StreamYard is just outgrowing me. I'm outgrowing it. It's not being useful for me anymore. It's actually causing me more headaches than it is for help, especially since they don't like Apple products. Clearly it doesn't like Apple products, so they wouldn't, be on here. Hold on. Let's see. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we have the WebEx. Like, I can literally watch it. I just can't connect it to my StreamYard for some reason. Gotcha. All right, Mom, thanks. Love you too, bye. Mom said that she was able to watch it for free. It's just delayed. It's here. PDF. Okay, here you go. For the liar that decided to pay me $2 for being a liar, there you go. Leticia Stauch, right there. Plaintiff, USAA Life Insurance Company, complaint in interpleader. There it is. There it is. So thanks for the $2, but not a liar. Had the facts together. But, again, these hate channels never have facts. They kind of, if they think it's true. We don't do that here on this side. We actually give you guys the information, the true information. So Betty Fan says we need 200 more likes. That's good. I still need to figure out how to put this this thing on. Does somebody have time today? Or is somebody on here that can come up here and share your screen, and I'll give you the WebEx information? Well, shit. This is going to piss me off. I have to be honest with you. It's going to upset me. It's going to upset me severely because I can't run the WebEx and the phone lines. It just doesn't work that way. I should do. Lenny Beans, I heard Betty on my ear. I heard Betty on my ear. ICML is covering it, if that helps. Yeah, but I don't like pulling from other creators. If there's a pooled reporter, I like to do everything above board. If you haven't noticed, you know, I like to take the stuff in accordance with the true, you know, fair use, not this garbage that everybody tries to claim fair use when it's not. We try to stay in the good graces of everything that we do here. We don't like to violate rules. We are a channel for law and order. We promote law and order, and that means following rules as simple as terms of service and copyright stuff. So we do like is going to play at Court TV is going to play. Thank God. Shame on law and crime. Shame on law and crime. They make so much freaking money that it's not even funny. And then they're going to have people pay to run this. That is crazy to me. And they say I'm a bad person. They may be covering it, but right now all they've got is Gwyneth Paltrow. They don't have anything on Gannon. Nothing. It went from Alex Murdaugh to Aiden to Gwyneth. There's nothing in here on Leticia. All they have on Leticia is a video that they uploaded. They're not running this case live. They're uploading videos on their end. So that's not going to work. That's not going to work. So that's where we're at right now. Law and crime is committing a crime profiting off of a case. No, not really. Not really. So in a case when there is no pooled coverage, so that means that there is not one news company that is pooled, then if you go in there and you're able to record it, that's your copyright. But since this is all coming out on WebEx, there is no copyright attached. They cannot attach for copyright. So anybody with that WebEx link that is playing that WebEx link can't then turn around and claim a copyright on the WebEx because it's owned by that city and state. So they would be in violation of a court order should they do it. So technically they can, but my problem is I have the ability to go in here and watch this myself and bring this to my audience, but I'm prevented from doing so because of this program. You know, let me see something here. Hold on. I'm going to go over and see if Restream has a, then it's going to take me forever to get it all set up. Because I was going to say, if they have a free thing, what I'll do is I'll make sure it works tomorrow. Do we have WebEx? Do we have to use the download for WebEx, or can we watch WebEx just from webex.com? It seems like we should be able to watch it from webex.com personally. I don't know why we wouldn't be able to. So it's going to be, the case is going to be starting. Somebody was right. It does start at 11 because I'm seeing the countdown now. And we have 49 minutes before it does start. But again, there's nothing I can do if I can't even show you guys what we're doing. Let me go over here to StreamYard. Let me see. StreamYard. Customer service. Phone number. Probably going to be another one of these things where you can't never get a hold of them. Okay, here, my mom. I think my mom just found the live stream. Yeah, that's News 9. That's from yesterday. Yes, ma'am. I'm on it right now, and that's from yesterday. That was from yesterday. Yes, ma'am. Bye. So hopefully they might do it today, but this was even, they only went an hour and a half, and guess the case that was just the case was an hour and a half. Let's see if we can call StreamYard and tell them what the problem is. Give me just a second. Yeah, but the problem is they're making me download the webinar, and I don't want to download the webinar. Oh, we can join just the meeting if you've already have just joined the meeting. So we can call in. Website is repeatedly trying to open an application. All right, I'm almost ready to like kill this live until I can get this this stuff situated, but I'm not going to because we're going to do audio today, and I'm just going to have to call StreamYard, and I will call them in just a second. But let me go ahead and pull our Google Voice up. Let us call in. All right, I'm going to kick it onto a song, guys. Just stay with me if you guys want to watch this. We are going to be doing the trial today. I'm not sure how we're going to do it, but I can't do this with StreamYard today. So we're going to listen to it. Today's going to be audio. We're going to listen to audio. I'm going to have to work with StreamYard, or I'm just going to, I've got to cancel the service and get a new one set up. So we may be doing Restream tomorrow because obviously StreamYard is not, Apple product friendly. As I'm finding out, a lot of these companies aren't Apple product friendly. That's why you're having to buy all these apps to spin just to get your phone to work with anything. That's what I hate about Apple products. Are they good, indestructible quality products? Yes. But who gives a crap whether it's indestructible if you have to pay an arm and a leg to have it connected to anything? I can use my Apple on Windows products without having to purchase products to use it. But for whatever reason, our snooty Apple company don't like their crap working with anything else unless you give them money to make it work. I don't like that. That is horrible business. That is a horrible business design. And there's so many people out there that are just hook, line, and sinker in this insane thing called Apple products. I have never seen anything. If you guys have been sold a bag, I'm not saying the phones are not good quality. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that you guys are literally nickeling and diming yourself to death. You want to talk about burning money, taking a match and burning it and watching your money be wasted? Buy Apple products. Literally buy Apple products. You want good quality products that don't take a lot to break the bank and work with everything? Buy Windows product and Android products. That is, I'm telling you, I've been working on this stuff for a year. There is no doubt that this is a good quality product. There's no doubt. The functionality of it sucks. The fact that for every little thing that I want to work on my phone, I got to pay $2 to $3.99 a month or 99 cents a month to get it to work. I can't even flip my camera when I'm recording from my face to the front without paying for an app to do so on an Apple phone. That comes standard on Samsung Galaxy. Standard. I can have literally 15 different thumbnail applications that I don't have to pay for on Windows. Standard, no watermarks. I can remove backgrounds from my images on my Windows products. Standard, no charge for those. I've got to pay. If I were to pay for everything that I was able to use, I would literally be paying $100 a month for all these things I have to download just to get this phone to work after I paid almost $1,100 to get this phone. You know what I do when I buy a $1,100 Samsung? That's it. That's it. That's it. If I don't have to, that's it. With an Android product, that's all I got to do is buy the phone. It's not requiring me to pay $100 a month to allow my phone to work as I need it. I can make my phone work as I need it for free, just for purchasing the phone. I do not like Apple products anymore. After I found out this nonsense with this camera, that I can actually use my camera to flip back and forth during recording, all I need to do is just buy an app. That sealed the deal for me. That literally sealed the deal for me. I was done. Done. I'm a conservative, and I mean that in every literal meaning possible. I don't like wasting money. I work hard for money. I like that money to be used for other things, not apps to get to work, when I could have paid exactly the same amount for this phone as another phone, and that phone would not require any paid apps to get it to work. Don't waste your money on Apple products. I'd rather buy 2 Samsung phones in a year than one Apple phone. Literally. Yeah, but Apple App Store is secure. Listen, I I hate being the bearer of bad news. There is nothing secure in this world anymore. And I'm sorry. Everybody under the sun has our information. The Patriot Act took care of that. There is no privacy in this country. None whatsoever. And if that doesn't show you just by the Alex Murdaugh trial alone, I don't know what will. I don't, you may believe that, but that is literally, they may tell you that to keep your business. But I hate to tell you, everybody in this world, that's why the Social Security numbers, everybody wants to hold, nobody cares anymore about Social Security numbers. Why? Because China and every other country has stolen that information from the people here in the United States for so long. That's why they have all these identity things now when to make sure that you are who you are, is because so many other countries have our Social Security numbers, our names, everything. Everything's on the dark web. Everything is literally on the dark web. You have no privacy anymore. The privacy is gone. If you think that app store is secure, first of all, I've never had any problems with the Google Play Store, ever. And I've been an Android owner for over 20 years. I have never had my identity stolen or my phone hacked with the Google Play Store, ever. So I'm not paying $100 a month to have a secured app store. I could care less. I could care less. For those that can't afford it, do it if that's what you like. But I'm telling you that the functioning of that phone this phone's not valuable for me. This phone, to me, I feel ripped off with, to be honest with you. I don't like it. Don't like it. So anyways, let me kick into the song. We'll figure it out. We're going to do this WebEx thing. We're going to do it by phone. I'm going to be watching it. I can't show you the screen because I could show you the screen. How do we want to do this? We could show it on the screen under the entire screen. And I could call in with the cell phone and put the cell phone up to the speakers so you guys can hear what's being said. The lips may not sync, but at least you guys can see what they're presenting and everything else. That's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. I've got to go make some more coffee because I only get these little cups. So I'm going to make some more coffee, and I'm going to use the little girls' room because we're already past our 2 hours, and we're going to continue to go on because we are going to be watching the Leticia Stauch trial, and that's going to be coming here in just a few minutes. So if you guys would like to be part of this trial, listen to it and everything like that, please stay here. Go out, get your coffee, get your drinks, get your popcorn, right? We know how these things go. Seemed yesterday it was only about an hour and a half yesterday. I'm hoping today will be a full day, but we will see. But I'm just going to give you guys just a few minutes. We're going to go kick into a song, and we'll be back soon. Where is the song? I think it's all the way down at the bottom.
I know you told your friend you're not okay. And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Got a buildup of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no, you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you, but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay. And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. too long. It hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away. As you fade away.
We're back. I see we lost a few people, and that's okay. That's okay. We're having some technical issues anyways. We'll figure it out. It's not a huge deal. I mean, if all else fails, I'll maybe go up to Best Buy and just order a computer from where I'm at, but I hate purchasing things in expensive places. So one of the things about my, where I'm staying is they have fresh pastries literally delivered every day. Fresh. I mean, this stuff came out early this morning from the bakery, and I get to eat it. And it is so good. I have to be honest with you. It's so good. Nice. So we'll watch this coming up, and it's going to be kind of starting in about 40 minutes. I'm just wondering if I should try to do this a little different. I need a call. You guys are just gonna have to sit here and watch me work. I don't know what else to tell you because I need to call StreamYard and tell them what's going on because it's driving me absolutely insane. Oh, we already had it started. 3-7. Let's see if we can call up there. Of course, another company that doesn't like their customers. Listen, I don't care if people like chatting. There's some old school people out here in these companies that have lost customer service. They should be receiving our money. And that's what pisses me off about StreamYard. I got to go chat with them because they don't want to pick up the flipping phone. They want to ship those stuff off overseas. It just drives me nuts. Row Ventures. Understand these acts of violence is criminal mind and their behaviors, never a rational understanding. Thank you for your contribution with that. Absolutely, I have to agree. Francie just got off, Cranky Pants just got off the phone with doctor. He wants to have a bone marrow biopsy. Oh no, ZA, that's not good. I'm sorry to hear that. We have a lot of people in our chat that struggle day in and day out. With ailments, loss of family. We have a lot of people that come to this channel that are really struggling. And that's why it's so important that people in here are respectful to one another. Because you really don't know. There's a lot of people in here that are bedridden. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people that watch some of these channels have no way of getting around, that we're their entertainment. And this channel really does impact them. And they don't need to be, have people being nasty to them. They deserve to come here and have a wonderful, entertaining time covering some of these cases and getting some new information. So, please, again, be kind to one another in this chat. You don't know who these people are. You don't know what their situation is. You could be talking to somebody that is literally on their deathbed, and this is the only little piece of happiness that they get during the day. So just be cognizant of that. And trust me, there's a lot of people in here that struggle day in and day out. We hear them because we're open to each other. And we just want to uplift these people. We don't like being, butthurt Bettys, negative Nancys, or any other of the names that we can come up with. We want people to be happy, and we want to uplift people in here, not drag them. That's not the purpose of this channel. We didn't build this channel on hate. As a matter of fact, we built this channel on love. Does that mean that we don't get loud? No, absolutely not. If there's an injustice, I feel it's our duty to bring light to that injustice by any means necessary, as long as it's lawful means. That means as long as we're not breaking the law doing so. And some of the stuff I do is controversial to get attention to the case, and that's okay, as long as I'm doing it in a lawful manner. And that's what I do. Can it annoy some people? Of course. Do I care? No, not really. Because at the end of the day, when I'm out there, that usually means somebody lost their lives. So does somebody's feeling trump the loss of somebody? Absolutely not. If you have your heart on your sleeve, I try to respect that. But, again, I can be offensive. I can be abrasive. I can be controversial. And you've got to expect that from here. So if you're very sensitive, maybe one of the things would be is to turn the channel when things upset you a little bit. It's usually temporary in nature, like we did with the whole, outing the lies coming from Camp, wannabe drug thug. We added the lies on that. And it was just funny because she really did try to lie to her audience and say that docket that I was showing was that of a dead person. And then when we come to find out, literally the day later, we had so much evidence mounting against her, she finally had to come clean and say, I told my audience everything I've done. I told them I did these things. No, you told them you committed one felony. You committed more than one felony. You committed more than one criminal act. You've been found guilty of multiple criminal acts. And now you're finally saying, well, I told my audience about my past and I told them that this stuff was in there. But you just the day before said that what I showed was not yours. And now you're owning it. So we appreciate that she's owning it. But it's never good to lie to your audience, because when you lie to them about one thing, they know you'll lie to them about another. And that's never good. I come here, I have to own and deal with everything. And you know what? At the end of the day, let me tell you where I stand on it. Let me tell you where I stand on it.
See, I don't know about y'all, but like for real, I don't mind being talked about. My problem come in when they start making stuff up. So you can talk about me all you want. It is what it is. It's either I did it or I didn't. I said it or I didn't. Whatever the case is, I don't care. I let whoever think whatever, feel whatever. That's on them. You know what I'm saying? But it's the making up part. It's the lying part. It's the adding on to part that always get me. I don't mind being talked about. It's when y'all start lying that bothers me.
And that's the problem. That's the problem there. I own everything I do, and I do it proudly. People are like, well, you went out there to Quentin Simon. You bet your butt I went out to Quentin Simon. And you watched me for 2 weeks sit there and watch a woman that was on double probation, accused of killing her son, accused of throwing him away like garbage, can't pass a drug test. What's the purpose of being on probation is when you do the worst of the worst kind of act to another human being and you still ain't thrown in jail for it. She violated probation when she could not even piss clean. That was a violation. That was absolutely a probation violation. She should have never been out of jail. As soon as her child was missing and she could not pass a drug test, they should have violated her probation and let her sit in jail while they looked out there in that landfill to find her son. I stand by 100% of everything I did out there. Everything I did out there. And I'm proud of the work that we were able to do, despite what everybody else's comments are. The haters did not send me out there. My audience sent me out there. My audience sent me out there. And my audience is the one that financially supported those initiatives. So I really don't care if some person on another channel that's never contributed a dime over here, they're not going to tell me what to do. They're not going to sway me one way or another, because it's my audience that I'm beholden to. It's my audience. This has never been my channel. It's my house, but never my channel. So you follow my rules up in my house. But this is a channel that we've all built. This is a channel that we have all put our blood, sweat, and tears in, not just Bullhorn Betty. And we have all came under attack because of that. All of us. And it wasn't just me. It was all of you too. And you guys know that. So we're not beholden to these hate channels or to this PC bullshit that's out there. I don't care. If you're too sensitive and too emotional, this probably isn't the best channel for you to watch. You know, maybe another channel that caters to your emotional needs might need to be the one that you watch. Maybe you should go out there and unsubscribe from the Bullhorn Betty channel if you cannot handle what goes on this channel. And nobody's going to hate you for that. You know, nobody's going to hate you for that. You have every right to do that. If it's something that you don't like that's going on here, you don't have to be a part of it. And you definitely do not have to subscribe to it or watch it. But don't ever think in 1 second that I'm going to be different because somebody tells me to be different. I'm not going to change my personality and who I am as an individual to make somebody else feel happy or comfortable. You're not going to get that on this channel. You will never get that on this channel. What you see is what you get. I've been this way for a really long time. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. So no point in even trying to start because I really don't care. And I will continue to do outlandish things. I will continue to do controversial things. I will continue to go out there, and if I choose to raise my voice and bring attention any darn way I please, you guys are just going to have to hate because that's all you're going to be able to do, because stopping me, that's not going to happen. That'll never happen. Ever. So while you guys are getting some of you guys are getting your panties in a wad, I'm eating well. So good. Fresh pastries. You cannot beat fresh pastries. Holy crap. Let's see where we are with I swear to God, if I don't quit doing that, I'm going to go crazy. You just do you, Betty. Never mind the others. Oh, I do. And apparently a lot of people like it. Apparently a lot of you guys like it. Because we've grown leaps and bounds. And we've done that as a team. We all work well together. So it's going to continue to be, they're just going to have to hate. But at least we know one thing. If they talk about me, then obviously they're triggered. Because that's what I've been hearing, is because I brought up and it started to address the other stuff. Apparently, I wouldn't have been talking about Drug Thug. I wouldn't have been talking about Drug Thug if I wasn't triggered. So that means anybody that talks about Bullhorn Betty is triggered, because apparently that's it. If we don't talk about it, we're not triggered. If we're talking about it, then we're triggered. So anybody that's writing and broadcasting about Bullhorn Betty, I've now learned they are triggered. According to them, they are triggered by Bullhorn Betty. So now we know. So we know how many people I get under the skin of. And it makes me laugh because they're triggered, but hurt Betties. I bring that shenanigans. At least I do my stuff illegally. I'm not fraudulently taking money from disability saying I can't work, meanwhile working online. And yes, just for all those people out there, they tell me to keep this under wraps, to do it behind closed doors. And you know me, I'm loud and I'm proud. I have filed complaints with the U.S. Department of Social Security Administration for fraud, waste, and abuse, and attached the actual links to their YouTube pages on there so that the Social Security Administration can go back and look at how much money that they're collecting on their lives. And they can also get the necessary subpoenas to pull from their Cash App and Venmo that they constantly are talking about and flashing on their screen. So I own what I do here on YouTube, and I have no problem. But let me tell you something. What I don't like is I don't like fraud. Another thing I don't like is you thinking you can waste taxpayers' money while you sit on your ass and harass people and be nasty and unkind people, collecting money off your subs, not reporting it to the Social Security office, and fraudulently collecting funds when you say you can't work, but you can sit in a chair, do research, push papers, answer phones, make calls, make binders to send out to the police departments and everything like that. That sure sounds like you're working to me. And what do we say about the working person? What do we say?
Let me tell y'all something. You ain't got to ever worry about getting nobody back for some shit they done did to you. Because quiet as it's kept, everybody working get paid. Let me break that down so you understand what I mean. Everybody working getting paid. See, some of you motherfuckers don't even know that you're working. But payday comes after a while, bitch. You being messy? You're working. You gossiping about people? You're working. You stealing, lying, cheating, or just all around doing some fuck shit? You're working. And payday is on its motherfucking way. Ha ha! Let me tell you something, you working motherfuckers. Some of you bitches got overtime in that bitch too. Woo, that payout gonna be good. So when you get your check, bitch, don't complain. You worked for it.
You sure do, right? But I own mine. I own mine. I'm not one of these people that does sneaky shit behind the scenes. Everything I do above board and in the light. I don't have to do that because when I make a claim, I stand behind the claim I make. And when you're telling the federal government that you are unable and have no ability to work and you are injured from doing the meager job to get paid, and you're on YouTube not only collecting SSDI, but collecting thousands of dollars a month without reporting it to SSDI, that is fraud. That is 100% fraud, and it's illegal. And quite frankly, if your ass can be working, your ass needs to be working. Don't tell the federal government you can't lift a finger, you got your back broke, you can't do work, and you sit up on YouTube day in and day out working in front of everybody. So for all the hate channels out there, when I come, I'm not doing false, fraudulent stuff. I don't know whether it's happening, but it smells like it is. It's not my job to investigate those claims. So I'm making sure that who needs to have those, that information can do a proper investigation. If there's no dirty going on, then they got nothing to worry about. If there's some dirty going on, they got a lot to worry about. But don't think I'm ever going to sit here and let people steal from the American citizens. That is not going to happen. And that's for anybody on YouTube that is collecting a paycheck from YouTube. You're only allowed to collect $1,400 a month. Anything over and above there, you lose your benefits to Social Security disability. And I quite frankly have went back and calculated, and if it's fact that Drug Thug is on SSDI, she has definitely been making over $1,400 a month on YouTube. So she's going to have a hard time if she is. Again, I don't know. I heard it was. I did the right thing. I saw something. I said something. And that's what is expected. If somebody is doing criminal activity, I'm going to let that criminal activity be known, whether they like it or not, whether it's popular or not. I don't care. I stick by my convictions. But one thing I'm not going to do is have you sit there and suck the life out of the taxpayers while you be up there all nasty and stuff. You did it to yourself. If you weren't sitting here putting it all out there like that, you would have nothing to worry about. But since you've already let us know that you are working, we watch you work 6 to 8 hours a day, and you are on SSDI, explain to me why you can't get a job. Why can't you get a job? You're obviously working. You're getting a paycheck. You're getting a paycheck from YouTube. Clearly you know how to work. So why in the hell are you sucking the life out of the American people and the American taxpayers? That ain't happening. So before they tell you I'm behind here doing some sneak, no, I'm not. I saw something that looked like illegal as hell, and bet your ass I'm going to report that. Bet your ass I'm going to report that. And I did. So haters can hate all they want, but I'm on the right side of the law. I'm on the right side of the law. Coffee Club, hey. One bless Oma. I love that. That's cute. That's cute. I love that. Jules, Merck, Betty, scroll up, please. Be Betty, scroll up, please. Please help me get my message to her. I'm scrolling up. I see you. I see you, girlfriend. I just got to find your message. I got to find your message. Hold on. Might be easier for you to just to repost it now that you got my attention. Drug thug. Yeah. DC says drug thug that's deceased. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I know, right? That was a crock of crap. And that only lasted one day. I mean, like literally, she was caught. I mean, after that voice thing, can you believe her people were literally coming over? That really was her. She has admitted that article from 2013 being her. And people were literally in my chat telling me it doesn't sound like her. People from her channel trying to still allow her to continue to lie kept saying, that doesn't sound like her. That is not even the same voice. That's not even the same voice. Well, what do you say now that she's admitted that that was her and that was her voice? What do you say about that now? Do you feel stupid that she lied to you? Probably not. But just remember, don't get upset when she lies to you again, because you know she's a liar and that she's willing to lie and she's willing to scam and con and swindle. Don't be surprised when she gets under your skin and you finally have had it. I don't want to hear you over here talking bad about her. When I start hearing and your butts start popping out of your head start popping out of your butts, don't come over here saying you were right about. I know I was. Jules, I would recommend you probably writing your question here. I'm watching the chat now that we're kind of through all that stuff where we're waiting for Leticia Stauch to get on. But let me write down all this stuff for the Leticia Stauch because we're going to have to run it from the phone. Now, guys, I don't know if I'm going to have to leave today or not. I'm waiting for my team to kind of tell me where, because it doesn't look like anything we're doing is going to be happening until later this evening. Oh, you're so sweet. Guidance is asking me if I'd like to DoorDash some coffee. I'm actually pretty good. I had a couple cups of coffee, but last night I ordered pizza. I don't know what got into me. I went to oh my gosh, I got to tell you about this Vietnamese restaurant. But I ended up ordering pizza last night at like 8 o'clock last night, and I got two liters, one of Diet Coke and one of Coke Zero. I actually ordered Orange Crush, but they didn't have any 2 liters. So I guess and this is my thing. Look, I don't know how many of you guys are delivery people, but look, if somebody buys a Diet Coke and then a drink that's not diet, typically those people don't want an additional diet drink, for the replacement of that drink or that beverage. Like I would have much rather had a Coke or a Sprite as opposed to Coke Zero, because I just got Diet Coke. I mean, how much 0-calorie drinks do you really want? I wanted something a little different, something with a little sugar and stuff like that. So they sent me, and you know me, I'm always about God does things for a reason. And when they handed me that with the Coke Zero and the Diet Coke, that told me I need to keep to my diet of 0-calorie drinks. Even when I make terrible decisions that need to be corrected, some gracious person above makes those decisions for me, and it knocks me right back into place. And it's like, you know what? There's a reason why we don't drink those sugary beverages, because we casted them away. We want 0-calorie drinks. And here's a lot of the stuff I'd like to tell my audience. If you're struggling with your weight or you want to lose a little bit of weight, me, for the longest time, I drank more than I eat. I've always drank more than I don't know. It's just the way my body is. I got to have my mouth wet, at all times. So I'm always with a water or a coffee. Always, always, always. Nothing changes that for me. I always have to have a drink with me. Like literally will not walk out of the house until I make sure I have a drink with me. And I always keep extra drinks, like extra bottles of water, whether they're hot or not. I always keep extra bottles of water in the car. So for those days that I do get in a thing and I'm very quick and I forget my drink or leave it on the dining table, which I've done before, I still got something wet my whistle with. But I've always drank more calories than not. And when I started gaining a whole lot of weight, it was more calories taken in from the tea and the soda and the orange juice and all the sugary and high calorie drinks that I was drinking. It was not from the food I was eating. So when I stopped drinking all those sugary drinks, when I stopped using sugar in my coffee, when I stopped drinking tea, because I can't drink sweetened tea. It has to be sugared tea. It has to be sweet tea. I'm just a country girl. Unless I have equal on hand. If I have equal on hand, which is very expensive to have in that quantity to make tea with, I will make tea with equal so I have a 0-calorie tea, but that's only once in a while. But I am a sugared tea, a sweetened tea gal. So I had it almost, and I drank like 2.5 gallons every day to 2 days. I mean, it was that extensive. I love tea. I drink it all day, every day. And so once I cut tea out, once I cut the Coca-Cola out, once I removed the sugar from my coffee, I literally the first week or the first 10 days, I literally dropped 10 or 15 pounds the first week. That is how much calories I was drinking. It was insane. And when you're doing your monitoring and doing your, the one thing you forget to add to any of your calorie counting or stuff, if you're into all that, is you forget to add your drinks. So you're looking at your food intake and you're thinking, I'm not hitting that 1,500 calories. I got mine set for 1,500 calories, not 2,000. I think 2,000 calories a day is just too much. I'm not as active as a kid. For kids, I think it's great. For, older people that sit, I'm sitting a lot, doing a lot of research. I don't need 2,000 calories. I'm not burning 2,000 calories off a day. So I got mine set at 1,500. And so when I was looking at the food, I'm thinking, okay, I'm within that count, but I kept gaining weight. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? It's because I wasn't adding those drinks in. And I was drinking so much fluids that were high in calories and sugar that I was literally drinking my weight on me. I removed literally just small changes. Now I get diet in the Coke Zeros. I just saw somebody say cherry Coke. Cherry Coke's my favorite. Cherry Coke is my absolute favorite. I have to be honest with you. I do have a 12-pack of Cherry Coke, not Cherry Coke Zero, Cherry Coke at the house because every now and again, I just crave a sugary beverage. So I'll throw one can in. I never stock the refrigerator with them so they're cold where I can just grab it and go because I'll have a tendency of grabbing it. But every now and again, like maybe once a week, I'll throw one of those sugary beverages in the refrigerator to get cold. So next time I drink it, I have a cold drink to have. But I have started with the Cherry Coke Zero, and that has saved my life. That has saved my life. Now, granted, it's just a hair taste different than the other stuff, but at least it allows me to drink my soda without feeling like I'm adding like a small kid to my waist. Yeah, I love McDonald's Coca-Cola. I actually liked McDonald's tea, but I noticed some places get it a little too sweet. I'm very, mine is like a scientific method to make my sweet tea. But I tell you, every person that has ever drank my sweet tea is like, oh my God, this is the best sweet tea I've ever had. And I'm like, well, that's 40 years of experience. I've been making tea since I was 3 years old. What do we got here? Betty LC has a free trial. She told me to tell you. A free trial for what? Oh, so sweet. I think Connie let me see this. Oh, thank you, Connie. That's so sweet. So Connie sent $10. What is this? I don't know if it's Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Oh, it's PayPal. And says, you know the drill. Get some coffee or anything you like. Aw, thank you, Love Bug. I appreciate that. God bless you. I saw your name, but I didn't want to say it because I didn't want people getting it. You know what I'm saying? So since I accidentally said your first name, I figured I'd stop it there. Thank you, sweetheart. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. Coke and salt peanuts. Oh my God, that is so good. Turkey Man, that is so. I tell you what, before Pop died, Pop is my best friend's husband. And many of you guys know I talk about her often because she has, she's got a lot of stuff going on and stuff like that going on with her life. She ended up having to take her grandchildren in. It appears that they're actually working on a reunited plan with her daughter. Her daughter, I've seen her, looks like she's getting everything together. She's doing everything she's supposed to do. And hopefully Laura will be able to give custody back to her daughter. We pray that that's the case. Obviously the kids' safety is the number one concern, but it seems like, their mom is doing everything that they should, as she should, doing everything that she can to get those children back. But Pop, her husband, they were married for, 40-something years. He worked for a plant in Bradenton for 30-something years. He really was a hard worker and everything like that. He made the absolute best Cajun peanuts. And I don't know if you know anything about me. I am not a peanut person. I love cashews, almonds, walnuts. I like a lot of hazelnuts, macadamia nuts. I like those, but I'm not really a peanut person, except in two occasions. And that is hard-boiled Cajun peanuts. I don't like the plain, never have. I think they're bland. And the other one is honey nut. The honey nut nuts, that you get like the planter honey nut, or you know what I'm talking about. Those are the only ones that I'll eat. I'll eat those, and I'll eat boiled peanuts. But Coke and Cajun boil, oh my God. I could eat that literally 4 days. Guys, Leticia's case has got to be starting soon. Let me get over here and figure out what I need to do here. I don't see anything up on the screen just yet. Oh, they pushed it back. It's now saying it's not going to start for another hour and a half. It's not going to start for another hour and a half. I just looked at the WebEx. All right, guys, with that being the case, we're going to go ahead and get off here, and I'll be back here in about an hour and a half, and we'll try to, and maybe that'll give me enough time to get this up and running so we can have volume on it. So if I can get this up and running and get this live broadcast of her case, we're going to do it right from here. So go get you guys something to eat. Be back here in an hour and a half. We'll get this rolled out. One way or another, we're going to hear this, unless everything just is not going to work for us. And then we'll have to try to figure out something else. And I have a funny feeling I'm going to have to pay the damn money for Law and Crime to watch that. But I'm not going to do it until that, because we do have some other backup channels that are going to be there that hopefully won't put that onto us. So we'll see you guys soon, but it gives me at least an hour and a half to work out the technical issues. So God bless each and every one of you. I'm going to finish my pastry and my coffee, and I'll see you guys real soon. Bye-bye. And good day. And don't forget to be fearless. It's tough to be fearless. I will tell you, there's a lot of things that you have to go through, but doing the right thing will always prevail. I truly believe that. If you're a good person and you are just trying to do the right thing, you do the right thing. And sometimes doing the right thing is doing the right thing. When you see somebody being fraudulent with our government, sometimes you just there's reasons why those hotlines are available for waste, fraud, and abuse. And it's not for me to investigate. I learned of something that bothered me a lot. I don't know whether it's true or not, but it's enough of a concern that the appropriate people that need to find out whether it's true or not have now been notified, and they can do whatever they need to do with the information. It's not for me to decide, but I will tell you that we have definitely made the report. That I can tell you, and I'm going to stand by that, because if anybody's stealing from the federal government, they should be reported, and I will report them, and I'm proud to do so. So with that, guys, good day. God bless. Have an amazing day, and we'll be back here hopefully in an hour and a half. Keep our fingers crossed. Let's all say a prayer. Let's all say a prayer to the technology gods out there that Bullhorn Betty channel can get this out and rolled out today. All right, see you soon. Bye. I love you guys. Peace.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Oh, I forgot to clear